It has been a festive 2 days of baseball in the East Bay. Thursday, opening day ended in walk-off fashion as Marcus Semien sent the crowd home happy. And last night, the Athletics celebrated their history, honoring 50 of their greatest players in grand fashion. Today, it's a matinee by the Bay as Daniel Migden makes his 2018 debut. A's and Angels next. Beautiful day for baseball at the Coliseum. It is Game 3 of this 4-game series. It is the Oakland A's and the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim coming up on NBC Sports California, powered by Xfinity. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to A's Baseball, along with Ray Fosse. I'm Glenn Kuiper. Last year, Marcus Semien missed 74 games due to injury. Not happy about that. The guy likes to be in the lineup every day. Coming out of spring training this year, Ray, he's healthy, he's happy, and he's off to a good start.
And Kuiper, I think we're seeing a complete player in Marcus Semien. We know what he can do defensively. We know he can swing the bat. One of the biggest things about him right now, he's getting singles. Home runs are going to come, but he had a big walk-off hit in the opener of the series, a center field shot with 5 infielders. But I think if you look at his offense, for him to be leading off, hitting second, setting the table, he's going to do that. Defense, I think he's improving 100% to the point that he's a lot more comfortable, whether it's himself or throwing to second to start a double play. He is a complete package. I think we're seeing a much more relaxed Marcus Semien.
Starting pitcher this afternoon for the A's, Daniel Migden. For more on that, let's head downstairs to our good friend Dallas Braden. Dallas, the A's need Migden to be the guy we saw in September of last year.
And you talk about finishing the season on a high note. That's exactly what Daniel Migden did, and that's exactly where he would like to pick up from this year. An outstanding finish to the season from September 9th to October 1st, guys. 3-1, 1.54 ERA, opponents hitting under 200 against him. And for me, it was the efficiency, all right? 26 strikeouts, only 6 walks in 35 innings. So when you want to talk about a guy looking to pick up where he left off, Daniel Migden was absolutely outstanding to finish the season, much like anybody would like to, looking to pick up this year in 2018 for the Oakland A's.
All right, let's hope he can do that. He will be opposed by Matt Shoemaker. Shoemaker has been tough on the A's as of late. Lineups at first pitch when we come back. It's the A's and the Angels from the Coliseum.
It's brought to you by Toyota, designed for the grind that comes through every time. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. By Southwest, yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By Jack in the Box, come try the new food truck series featuring 3 new food truck inspired sandwiches, only at Jack in the Box. And by the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
Daniel Migden and the Athletics are set to roll. We're in the gold tops this afternoon. Let's check the game time weather for today. It's presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission-free boardwalk is open for spring break, 67 degrees. So it's a little cooler today than maybe it was on opening day on Thursday, but very comfortable. Plenty of sunshine for Game 3 of this 4-game series. Starting lineup for the visiting Angels is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, and it looks like this. Zach Cozart at second, Mike Trout in center. It's Upton, Pujols, Calhoun, 3, 4, and 5. Simmons, Valbuena, Marte, and Rivera. That's your Angels starting lineup.
Daniel Migden, who made just 7 starts for the A's last year, as well detailed because of injuries, especially to start the season. But Dallas Braden said, coming down the stretch, we'll never forget the complete game that he had, the shutout against the Phillies in Philadelphia in September. And probably building off that, looking forward to being the rotation on a consistent basis. If he stays healthy, got a chance to put up some very good numbers for the Athletics.
Chris Davis is in left field today. Boog Powell is in center. Stephen Scotty is in right. On the infield, Chapman, Semien, Lowry, and Olsen, with Bruce Maxwell getting the catching duties this afternoon. So we're set to go with Game 3 of the series, a pair of 1-run games. The first 2 games, A's won 6-5 on Thursday. And last night, a pitcher's duel, which the Angels won 2-1. So a couple of entertaining ball games to open up this series. We'll see what happens today in Game 3.
Isn't it amazing little things that happen or don't happen in a game, how they affect the outcome of the game?
Especially 1-run games.
Exactly.
Migden rocks again. He kicks and fires, and the first pitch to Zach Cozart is just a little bit high. Cozart, Trout, and Upton, the first three for the Angels. And that one is lined toward right. Piscotty dives, can't get it, rolls past him. Boog Powell hustling over, backing it up. And Cozart is going to try for third. A's may have a shot. The throw is just a touch late. And Cozart ends up at third base with nobody out.
Well, it's a tough break for Minden here. Piscotty, hard hit ball right out and makes a great effort coming in on the ball. Tries to lay out and extend, unable to corral it. As you see here, and it's a great job by Boog Powell. We saw it yesterday with Mike Trout, the catch by Calhoun out and right, doing a good job of backing up. See Piscotty does a good job of trying to get himself off to the side of the ball, just alligator arms it a little bit, unable to make the play.
Exmo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort, so it goes as a triple, and here's Trout. Infield is back, except for Olsen at first. He's in 3 or 4 steps. Trout was 0 for 6 on opening day. Then yesterday in his first at bat, he ripped a home run. Swing and a foul tip.
Well, they talk about a right-handed hitter being an outstanding low ball hitter. Well, Mike Trout proved it as he went down and had to change up from Sean Manaea. Did not waste it. Sean Manaea pitched a great game. That's the only run he really would give up. But it happened to be one to the superstar, if you want to say that, because he's in that category.
And that one is driven down the right field line. Could be trouble, and it bangs off the base of the wall. Cozart scores. Trout in the second with a sliding double. And 2 hitters into the game, the Angels lead 1-0.
Minden misses high. First pitch with the heater, tries to come back with a little wrinkle. Trout again doing a great job of staying inside the ball, hitting it where it's pitched, going the opposite way. You know he's got the power. You try to keep it away from him, but really all fields are in play with a guy like Mike Trout.
One of the things, Upton, excuse me, Red.
No, one of the things we're seeing too, Mike Trout can handle a lot of pitches, but again, going back to the opener on Thursday, how many high fastballs did he miss? And yet, what he did last night with the home run, what he did on that breaking ball, sometimes the scouting report on great hitters, sometimes it's better just to rear back and say, try to hit my best pitch, which is a fastball, because you make a mistake with him, he's going to hurt you, he's going to capitalize, and he's done it last night. He's already done it this afternoon.
The pitch cast today brought to you by SoFi, a modern finance company. 0-1 the count to Justin Upton. 2 for 9 in the series. Did Trout not hit a home run down the right field line in Anaheim last year to tie a game in the ninth inning?
Yeah, nothing surprises you with Mike Trout. That good of a hitter.
Simeon trying to keep him close. Trout does not steal as many bases as he did his first couple years. Marcus has it, straightens up, throws in time. So that's out number 1. Mike Trout here at the Coliseum has played in 58 games. He's got 14 home runs and 38 RBIs in those 58 games. He's homered at least once at the Coliseum each of the last 7 seasons. Longest by a visiting player since Mike Napoli did it in 7 straight seasons, 06 to 2012. So here is Albert Pujols.
Damage control for Daniel Ming. Did a good job with Upton and having him hit the ball to the left side to keep Trout at second.
Hanging breaking ball, called a strike.
Many times we see a pitcher struggle first couple of batters but settle down and do a good job. We saw it last night with Sean Manaea, just the home run, and then he was spectacular. And Daniel Ming did try to do the same thing in this inning, get back in the dugout, trailing by just the 1.
Pujols, who's 2 for 9 in the series, got a home run. Popped up. Matt Olson looking up into the sunshine, and he's got it. 2 out. So Pujols walks back to the dugout.
You know, one thing about this play, and while these guys are very good major league players, but the one thing about what happened on that play, Albert Pujols carried his bat to first base. Matt Olson caught the ball. Daniel Mingin wasn't at the bag. What if he drops it? You don't get it out. If he gets to the bag, he's got a chance, even if Matt Olson does drop it, which is highly unlikely. Let's get it out. You never know. I mean, we have seen stranger things happen, but, you know, it's just those little things. And, you know, I'm sure Albert upset that he didn't drive the ball to drive in the run. But, you know, you see somebody doing that just in case.
Well, isn't there, I mean, on every play, no matter where the ball goes, there's something that each position player can be doing.
When there's something a pitcher can be doing, the pitcher has somewhere to be. Absolutely. Every single pitch you throw, you have a responsibility.
And you think about that, Dallas, you as a pitcher, what do? You know, it's just like when Derek Jeter made the flip play. He said, well, I had nothing else to do. I just went there.
Right.
You know, and it turned out to be one of the greatest plays in postseason history. But, I mean, it's a minute point, but things do happen in the game. And that's why just positioning yourself, say, okay, I'm going to get to first base in the event that ball drops.
I mean, hitters talk about it all the time, jokingly saying, swing hard just in case you hit it.
That's exactly.
Why don't you go ahead and just be where you should just in case?
Just in case.
1-1 to Calhoun. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Thanks to late Dom Zem. Oh, we work on that play all spring. Yeah, come on, Zem. There's no other shortstop in baseball is going to back up a throw coming from right field between home and first.
But I tell you what, Foss, if I'm Mengden and I see old Pujols running down the first baseline with his bat in his hand, I might back off too.
Well, yeah. But just the little things of the game. But I think more than anything, these guys are human and mistakes are made. Foul back.
And a fastball.
Bruce Maxwell catching today for the first time this year, as always, a magnet. When he's behind the plate, that ball off his body someplace. He'll take one off the mask occasionally, if not every game that he catches.
Going through the signs, see what Migden decides on. Pitch, good one. Breaking ball down and in. Maxwell hangs on, side retired. A run on 2 hits for the Angels. A's come to bat in the bottom of the first when we return. Left. Olson at first, Piscotti in right. Chapman at third, Powell in center. Maxwell is the catcher.
And Matt Shoemaker is the starting pitcher for the Angels today. Look at his record last year, 6-3. He made just on the season 14 starts. Again, another pitcher who had some injuries for the Angels, as my partner has described perfectly throughout this third game. But that's what everybody wants to see, is health. And Matt Shoemaker, a very good pitcher when he is healthy, and has an assortment of pitches that usually likes to pitch from behind, not afraid to throw his off-speed pitches in counts where hitters might be looking for the fastball.
First pitch to Joyce. Popped up. Shallow center. Trout trots in. Trout waits. 1 out. Angels defense, good outfield. Upton in left, Trout in center, Calhoun in right. Valmoina's at third, Simmons at short, Cozart at second, Jeffrey Marte is at first. Rene Rivera doing the catching. So a couple of Angels getting their first starts this year. Rivera the catcher, Marte is over at first. Zach Cozart is back at second base. The reason for that is Ian Kinsler was placed on the disabled list before today's game. Remember the little groin injury that kept him out of opening day? He played last night, but came out of the game late, and things tightened up a little bit. So the Angels just said, let's put him on the disabled list and get it cleared up. He'll be back in 10 days.
And I was thinking when it came out, that was not for defensive purpose, because he's a very good second baseman.
So they brought up Nolan Fontana, infielder, left-handed hitting infielder. So Kinsler will spend a little bit of time on the disabled list. So when the A's go to Anaheim next weekend, he will not be off the disabled list yet. 1-1 the count to Marcus Semien.
We hear said often that if you get hurt at the beginning of the season, not at the end. Rather have you healthy down the stretch, and Kinsler is that good of a player.
Chad Fairchild is your home plate umpire. Little Barrett Barksdale, rest of the group. That's Ted Barrett, the crew chief.
When you think about getting a guy like Cozart like they did in the offseason, obviously he makes a start over at third. Now you can see him over at second base. He can play shortstop. He can play anywhere virtually. Athletic guy. But that's what allows Soch the depth, the depth to be able to plug and play these guys.
Well, the only reason he'll play shortstop if Simmons gets a day off or he's hurt, because
that's gold over there.
That is a gold glover. So, I mean, from Cozart's standpoint, he can go back and forth from second to third. Valbuena, Mr. Everything, so he's at third. He can play first. So a lot of interchangeable parts that Mike Soch can use for his lineup.
Payoff pitch to Semien is driven toward right center. Trout playing that way, and Trout makes the catch. So a well-hit ball by Marcus Semien with 2 outs. Today, any 95-mile-per-hour fastball is our fast pitch, brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest Wi-Fi at home and on the go. Matt Shoemaker, he may not get to 95. He's a little bit of a dart thrower, but
got a good splitter, trying to finish guys off, but went to fastball 3-2 Marcus Semien, which was a good idea. Hit the ball well, but Trout can cover a lot of ground in the outfield.
He's 5-2 with a 3.50 ERA in 11 career starts versus the Athletics. But his last 6 starts versus Oakland, 4-0 with a 2.00 ERA. So he has battled injuries the last couple years, but when he has faced the A's, he's been pretty good. It was a right forearm strain that caused Shoemaker to miss all that time last year. That hurt the middle of June and never made it back.
A lot of hitters, when they get ahead in the count, like to extend the arms. Matt Shoemaker just took care of that with the fastball up in to Jed Lowry. Jed uses the whole field. Matt Shoemaker had one get away, overthrew the fastball just a little bit.
Ripped well foul. Count 2-2 to Jed Lowry. 3 for 9 to start the season for Lowry. A's had a club option on Jed Lowry at the end of last year, and they decided that we're going to pick it up. Why not? He really had a good season last year. Veteran leadership for this young team. Across the diamond, side retired. 3 up, 3 down inning for Matt Shoemaker. 1-0 Angels after 1.
Games and food in left field. Attend every A's regular game for $29.99 per month for 6 months, or an annual fee of just $149.99. It includes general admission seating in the outfield sections. Anyone can visit the Treehouse, but if you buy the Treehouse Pass, your pass will only allow you access to the space in left field.
Just looking out there, looks like kind of a relaxed crowd today. Saturday afternoon. Marcus Semien charges, gets a nice big hop, and throws one away.
Maybe they didn't leave last night. They just
stuck around. Yeah.
Stayed there.
Yeah. But it's been pretty popular the first couple home games, and we're pretty sure that it's going to remain popular throughout the whole season. Why wouldn't it? It's a nice new addition to the Coliseum. Another option for fans to come and watch the game.
Maybe get a sunscreen sponsor. Because there is never a time in the day, well, a night game, yes, but day game, you never get anything but sunshine in that area.
You know who should have maybe a sunscreen sponsorship is Dallas Braden.
I concur wholeheartitely, gentlemen.
Right. The word on the street was on Thursday, opening day, skin got a little red.
Oh, a little crispy. Little crispy. Nothing we can't get over, though.
Well, on your face, you only had to put halfway.
That's right, boss.
You know, half your face is covered. You don't have to worry about a sunburn there.
We could get him a Bracabella.
Yeah? Huh? Lou said those didn't go that well, though. So I'm in St. Louis. It's just one of those things that didn't go. Tried Bracabella.
Lou Brock.
Yeah.
Invented the Bracabella.
He also invented get a big lead at first with a left-handed pitcher and go on the first move. And take 2 perfect throws to get him, and more times than not, they did not.
3-1 now to Luis Valbuena. Second year of a 2-year free agent deal Valbuena signed a couple years ago. Saw him with the Astros.
If you can play a lot of different positions, you become a very valuable entity to a ball club. And you just think about, I mean, Albert Pujols, they traded C.J. Cron, knowing that Valbuena could play first if necessary. Marte's there today. But they needed somebody to fill in because with Ohtani pitching tomorrow, he's not going to DH the day before or day after.
Yeah, that's sort of the, I guess, kind of the unwritten rule that the Angels are going by with Ohtani as far as being in the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
It's not
batting the 8th position.
Absolute, but
number 19.
It's what they have.
Yeah, that's kind of the plan.
So, Shohei Ohtani tomorrow pitching against the A's. So that'll be an exciting day. We're looking forward to seeing him. There's the defense set up for Jeffrey Marte.
Straight up.
Straight up. Beautiful. Daniel Gossett will pitch for the Athletics tomorrow. Andrew Triggs will pitch on Monday night against the Texas Rangers against Bartolo Colon.
How about that?
Or as the Twitter handle likes to say, Bartolo's Cologne. Bartolo's Cologne. That's beautiful.
That's one man who has fun playing the game.
Oh, he's great. The fist pump when he was starting. Remember, he'd walk by you the day he was starting with the A's. It's a little fist pump.
Yeah.
Guys, what was really, really crazy to watch was he would walk around on start days in the gym with a 35-pound dumbbell, just snapping that thing back and forth behind his head like it weighed about 2 pounds, getting that arm ready. Unreal.
Slice foul. Yeah, we used to see, and I'm not joking this, we used to see Bartolo Colon, he would be working out in the hotel gym. He'd have like 7 people standing around him staring at him when he was working out.
Yeah. Picking up a towel, picking up a weight, handing it to him. The entourage following Bartolo's Colon.
Another 1-2 to Jeffrey Marte. All right, fastball fouled straight back. Marte, looks like he's checking with Chad Fairchild. How high was that?
We have talked about how everybody with the first. Well, here's Daniel Mingman, who is making his first start. What does he do the first 2 batters? What has he done the last 5? Trying to make it 6 in a row. But maybe sometimes just having a few jitters, taking them out for the first time.
Busy day for Marcus Semien. And 3 ground ball outs in the top of the 2nd inning. Chris Davis will lead it off when we come back. 1-0 Angels. TV all season long. Sign up now through April 2nd at tmobile.com/MLB. Bottom of the 2nd from the Coliseum, with the Angels leading 1-0. looking eats right there. Saw the food trucks rolling in today. So they're back in business this year. Big hit last year.
Bigger this year. I think people got familiar with it, and it's a steady diet.
It's a ballpark routine.
Steady diet of going out there to have your diet taken care of.
It's a great addition, guys, because when you think you go to the ballpark, you got your staples, right? You got your peanuts, your popcorn, your Cracker Jacks, your hot dog, your pretzels. Even the churros are becoming a staple. But now it's anything and everything that palate could imagine at your disposal, thanks to Dave Cavill and everybody.
Yeah, and the days of the basic ballpark food being the only thing that you choose from, those are over.
Those are gone.
Now it becomes very regionalized. You know, if you're on the East Coast, or you're going to get that. So. That's the way it should be.
Well, I tell you what, I can't wait for you guys to get up to Seattle and get Foss some of those grasshoppers that they got up there.
I passed last year, and I'm going to pass on them this year too. Some foods I will not partake.
Yeah, I haven't. Need to do a little more research on that. But I don't see myself digging in there.
Finger sticky, get sticky all over your face.
Swing and a miss by Chris Davis. He'll hustle the first. Good throw by Rivera, and that's out number 1.
Time now for the Coors Light Refreshing Finish 50th anniversary celebration and 50 greatest players last night. There is our man Dallas Braden. Nick Swisher needs a little energy, a little bit of a Bernie Lean by Coco and Jose flexing the muscles. And of course, wouldn't be a day without Eric Burns and Ricky Henderson picking the collars. Ricky's like Joe DiMaggio. The late Joe DiMaggio in New York would always be introduced last for the Old Timers games. So Ricky, the greatest ever, picked me last.
That's right.
So he picked him last, and he picked on the way out.
0-1 to Matt Olson. Good night last night. The fans enjoyed it. And an entertaining ball game. Unfortunately, the A's lost the game, but as they always seem to do, they made it interesting at the end. They had a tying run at third base. Did not quite finish the comeback.
You know, B.I. is such a great statistician, and we're very happy to have him back.
Yeah,
but I need to have him have a list of the number of games in which the A's give up an extra run in the last inning before heading to the last at bat. Because over the course of a season, those are going to turn out to be big, big games.
You know what? He'll have that to us by the third inning. Next homestand.
There's B.I.
There's our man.
Brilliant information. There's the man. Just wonder where he's going to be tomorrow when the Warriors are playing, but that's okay.
So anybody who says, well, what does BI stand for?
Brilliant information.
You don't need to know.
That's all we're going to have to say is brilliant information. Leave it at that.
It's like the rock star who has just one name. Cher, Madonna, BI.
Split, split, split.
So 2 away, and Ray, you said he's got a good split.
Yeah, well, we saw Blake Parker last night struggle until the split started splitting, and there it is. Down the lower part of the strike zone, and then bottoms out. And that's why you see it. And if it's a good one, somehow, some way, it comes right to the end, looking like it's a great pitch, but then ends up out of sight.
Yeah, and you talk about doubling him up too, Foss, when he's ahead. 39% splits to the lefties are coming. With 2 strikes, 47%. So that number only climbs when he's ahead and in control.
So, do you look for the splitter? That's a tough pitch to look for.
It is. It's almost a reactionary pitch where you see it, it doesn't split, it kind of floats, and then you react on it, and it usually goes pretty good distance.
Kind of like a knuckleball. See it high, let it fly.
That's
see
right.
it low, let it go.
But, I mean, if a guy throws you a good splitter, you're probably not going to square it up anyway.
It's going to go straight down, and even with the launch angles getting under the low fastballs, it's hard to get under a good split if it's working properly.
Stephen Piscotty 1 for 8 to start the season. When bounced toward third, Valbuena across the diamond. Shoemaker 6 up, 6 down to start the ball game. Third inning coming up from the Coliseum. 1-0 Angels. In the push for the playoffs. Complete pre- and post-game coverage and available to stream live on the NBC Sports app. Don't miss anything about the Sharks this season. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and NBCSportsCalifornia.com. First pitch, line toward Chris Davis. He missed it. It goes all the way to the wall. Rene Rivera into second base. A sinking line drive.
We talked about it earlier in the game with the ball to Piscotty out in right field. One of the toughest balls to judge as an outfielder is that ball hit directly at you. Tough here. This thing's got top spin, diving down. KD just unable to make the mind up in time to make a play on it. Tough situation out there, especially with that ball hit directly at you hard. It's makeup time right now.
So it goes as a double for Rivera, and now to the top of the order in Zach Kozar. So 3 hits now for the Angels, 2 doubles and a triple. First pitch to Kozart is on the outside corner for a strike. Kozart opened the game with a line drive toward right field. Piscotty came in, dove, missed it, and it rolled past him all the way to the wall, and it went for a triple. Kozart 4 for 11 in this series. He's got a double, a triple, and a home run. Well, his first games as an Angel, he's been good.
You want to see how a pitcher performs with adversity, but one's enough.
Not too much adversity.
Yeah, no, that's, you know. And this is the first hit since Trout's double. That was back in the first inning, second batter.
Swing and a miss. 1-2 off speed kick.
Thursday afternoon, Zach Kozart, and it was against Kendall Graveman. And there he went. Another elevated pitch from Kendall Graveman, 1 of 3 that he gave up, all in a similar location. Zach Kozart, quite a few home runs for the Cincinnati Reds, a power shortstop, power hitter in the shortstop position.
Man, he got him. Good fastball running in on Kozart. So even if Kozart was thinking about trying to hit the ball to the right side, that would have been a tough pitch to do it.
Well, it's a great job of attacking the hands. That's what I like to see, especially from Mington with that arm side run, as Foss alluded to. You attack right underneath those hands, and it leaves the hitter. He's got to make the decision. Am I going down to get this? Can I let it get deep? It's very, very tough. So great job by Mington to crowd him late, especially with the hitter expecting off speed late in the count.
So Dallas, just to so our viewers know our terminology, arm side run. Tell us what that is.
Correct. Arm side run. That is the movement on the fastball towards the arm side. So he's got his throwing hand being the arm side, and he's got a glove hand. So for a righty, arm side run against a right-handed hitter, that ball is going to run into the right-handed hitter's hands. You run the ball in and you cut the ball away.
So arm side run. See if he can do it against Trout.
Next time Kendall Graveman tried to throw him. We'll see Bartolo Colon on Monday. The two-seamer inside to the left. He's trying to bring the ball back, get the hitter to flinch. But you have to be perfect, because if it runs too much, it's going to end up in the middle of the plate, which unfortunately that did happen.
And that one through Maxwell. And Rivera goes to third.
A lot of times the ball will stay down, and that's why it's incumbent on a catcher. Watch here. Come up, ball stays down. If you go straight to the ground with the catcher's mitt, there, stay down, it's going to scoot under the glove, but you have to protect the wickets, get in between with the glove on the ground.
It's a wild pitch now. Runner at third, infield comes in. Trout hits it foul right side.
There's a good fastball. See what he did?
Waits a little bit longer, and sometimes a little late on his swings, but That's actually by design.
Well, exactly, and all the more reason you go soft with him. He usually crushes the ball, which he has shown in this series.
Trout takes that one, and now he's in a good count at 3-1 with Upton waiting in the on-deck circle. Rivera, not a real fast runner at third. Tapped right at the plate, rolls foul.
Fastball center cut.
Here it is.
Now, if he can go up the ladder a little bit, he may get a swing and a miss, exactly what he's hoping for, or maybe gets a pop up on the infield. But being a low ball hitter, you try to elevate as much as possible, knowing the tendencies of a hitter.
Payoff pitch to Trout. And it's a swing and a miss, but the ball gets past Maxwell. Throw to first is not in time, so Trout's going to be aboard. Now, Migden got the strikeout. Maxwell could not handle the pitch, and now it's first and third.
And again, catcher's job, especially with a runner at third, handle it. That ball almost could have been caught. And unfortunately, Bruce went down on the previous one, or one that happened to get between his legs. That time he did it correctly, get the ball between his glove bit down between his legs. But unfortunately, when the breaking ball typically is going to bounce farther away than a fastball. And typically, a breaking ball is one that's going to be in the dirt. And that's a tough break because that was a huge out.
So strikeout, wild pitch. Upton steps in. Backhand Semien knocks it down, does not go to second, goes to first. It's late, and the run scores, and it's 2-0.
Good boy, Renee.
So it's an error on Semien.
There is going to be an RBI, but can't assume a double play. But yeah,
did he say RBI or no RBI?
He said no, but he changed, didn't he?
He did change.
Yeah, because it's you can't assume a double play. But bottom line, should have been a double play and out of the inning. I mean, this is the frustrating part, not only for the players on the field, but the skipper talked about a better defensive team this year. But Upton runs well. He ran very hard to first base, and as a result, there was no opportunity for any out,
which should have been a double play. But again, the adversities, you don't want that much.
So E6 RBI. So too many outs given away in this inning. But that ball was hit just hard enough that if Marcus fields it clean, I think it is a double play.
It is, and he fielded it, tried to field it correctly, and that is a backhand instead of trying to get in front of the ball, which might have crossed up his feet. Backhanded it the way he did or attempted to do. Well, it's the right way.
Guys, if you're a pitcher right now, the biggest thing is you have to continue to trust yourself, continue to trust your defense. You have to continue to try to pitch to contact. You've got the opportunity to get 2 outs with 1 pitch here. Don't be afraid to allow these guys to put the ball in play, even though there's been a couple mishaps behind you.
Always a chance to double up Pujols if he hits it on the ground. Always a chance of other things with Pujols as well. An error by Marcus Semien, the second error of the season for the Athletics. Trout at second, Upton at first. So good speed on the bases. Outfield defense plays Pujols straight away. Fastball way high. You'd like to tease the hitter just a little bit on 0-2. That one a little bit too far out of the strike zone. Lowry shifted over near second base. Powell Maybe a step or two into left center, not much. Davis straight away in left, Piscotty straight away in right.
Good job right outside in these situations. He'll poke a ball to right field for the run batted in.
And he lines one to center field. That's a hit. Here comes Trout. They're waving him home. Powell's throw is cut off. Trout slides home safely, and it's 3-0. The Angels lead.
Tell you what, boss, you mentioned you pitch him away. That's what makes Albert Pujols so great, and that is what has made him so great and a first ballot Hall of Famer when he hangs him up. Is his ability to cut the swing down and take what the pitcher is giving to him. You hear the cliche, try not to do too much. Well, that's exactly what this means. Instead of trying to elevate the ball and go to right center, he's going to hit it right back up the box, nice, smooth, take a single, and make his money.
That right there is why Mike Trout scores more runs than anybody, because he gets in scoring position. He very rarely, if ever, is held at third base.
There is Albert Pujols on the all-time RBI list. 1,920 RBIs. So kind of an ugly inning. A couple of hits in air. Couple of wild pitches, one of them on a third strike. Calhoun, a little flare. Simeon hustling out, and Marcus makes the catch. So 2 away, and it'll bring up Andrelton Simmons. The home road breakdown for Daniel Migden. Does not have a win at home. Significantly better on the road.
Number 2,
and of course, on the road last year in Philadelphia, he pitched maybe the best game any starter pitched for the A's last year. In a really an offensive ballpark in Philadelphia.
About 180 games worth, because that was the last time Chicago.
That's right.
What, June of 16, last time the A's had a shutout. It was Kendall Graveman.
First pitch to Simmons, down and in. 19 pitches so far in the inning for Migden, which is not a huge amount, but it seems like more. 48 his total for the game. Straight back.
In reality, this could be a 0-0 game right now. I mean, just with what has happened.
I tell you, those innings do start to creep on you. They start to feel long as you start to have plays that should be made that don't quite work out your way. As a pitcher, as I mentioned, you start to add that pressure on you. So for Migden, doing a good job of continue to attack the zone, throw strikes, don't try to nitpick. You've still got a job to do.
Chris Davis is there. Chris Davis has it, side retired. 2 runs, couple of hits, there was an error. So the Angels lead 3-0 as we head to the bottom of the third.
Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get A's home screen icons and features such as the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcast, stats, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today.
So the A's trailing 3-0, bottom of the third, as Chapman will lead things off. It's been easy going so far for Shoemaker. 6 up, 6 down with 2 strikeouts.
And now 3 runs really makes it easy. Actually had a run before he took the mound, which always helps a pitcher.
And Shoemaker, he doesn't mess around. He's kind of a rock and fire guy. He's not going to take a lot of time.
And you like to see that. I know the defense behind you appreciates that. That's one of the things I really liked last night about Sean Manaea, was he was getting it and he was going. He was convicted in his approach. And I think that bodes well for a pitcher. You like to get in there and get out of there as quickly as possible. Let the boys behind you get on their toes, ready to play.
1-2 to Chapman. Hit hard. Valbuena knocks it down, but he's not going to be able to have a play. Very hard hit ball by Chapman, and it's going to be a base hit.
Sean Manaea gave up the home run to Mike Trout, but then settled down working with Jonathan Lucroy. Get the ball, throw it, used all of his pitches, and he was outstanding. And, I mean, you get Albert Pujols, you get Bo Calhoun to take strike 3. Pretty good left-handed hitter, even against left-handers, but he had every pitch working. And pitch count got him a little bit, but looked great in those kind of green tops. He's good. Just score him some runs. Help him out a little bit.
So leadoff man aboard. Here is Boog Powell. Valbuena, the third baseman, comes in on the grass a step. Trout into left center field, playing a little more shallow with Powell hitter. Powell hit one over Upton's head on opening day. Powell thought about bunting. The ball was well inside. Two for 6 in the series for Boog Powell. Played in 52 games for the A's last year in his rookie season. That one called a strike on the inside corner. Bruce Maxwell waits in the on-deck circle. Calhoun in over into right center just a little bit. He makes the catch for the first down.
You get a leadoff batter on base, you need to try to manufacture, try to do something. Last night just kept waiting after a runner got on base, kept waiting for one of the bats to explode and maybe go deep, because it was a one-run game.
Maxwell steps in. Maxwell last year, 3 home runs, 22 RBIs in 76 games. He had a .237 batting average. And he lines one. Valbuena, what a play. Terrific play by Valbuena, as that ball was headed to left field for a base hit.
And this is just tough luck for Bruce Maxwell. I spent some time with him this spring, and he talked about letting the ball travel, letting the ball get deep, allowing himself to trust his hands, and that's what he does here. He lets the ball get deep. He squares it up right on the nails, and Valbuena elevates to make a play. Tough luck, Bruce.
It's always been, ever since we've seen him, a good opposite field hitter, and to Dallas's point about letting the ball travel, that enables a hitter to go opposite field. There are also times you get ahead in the count. That's when you forget about the opposite and look fastball and maybe take one shot of going deep. He did that also last year.
Matt Joyce swings and misses. Joyce hit a fly ball to center field on the first pitch he saw in the first inning.
And that was a fastball. This is a split. Second time through the batting order. Change it up a little bit.
Again, Trout shaded into left center field. And another swing and a miss. Looked like the same pitch. 82 miles an hour. This one was 83.
Yeah, splitter right over the top. He may go right back to it.
He really has not missed location with that splitter.
No, nothing's been up. Everything down. Starts at the knees and ends up down at the ankles.
Chapman, not a real big lead. And that one blocked nicely by Rene Rivera.
Matt Joyce, as we have seen, and this is Sunday's game, and zap right there, had to go down quickly, and that was against Johnny Cueto and the Giants, and just that's tough. Lower extremities, and of course last night on the swing there, his lower half didn't quite hold him up, and right here, how about this? Twisted his ankle as he stepped on the bag, to the edge of the bag, looking back. All the more reason why I say if a first baseman can take the bag himself, then you don't have to worry about a pitcher doing that, because you're trying to catch the ball, find the bag. That was Matt Joyce looking back to see what was happening on the play, put his ankle down, his foot down, and rolled his ankle.
And that is the reason why Matt Joyce was in the original lineup. He was playing left field, but then the A's made the change to put Chris Davis in left and make Joyce the DH. So they just flip-flop positions for Joyce and Davis. Driven to right. Calhoun on the move, still on the move, makes the catch. So a leadoff hit, nothing else for the Athletics. We're on to the fourth. 3-0 Angels.
For the beginning of a 3-game series. First 20,000 fans get a Matt Chapman replica Kelly Green jersey. 3 games against the Red Sox starting on Friday, April the 20th. Grab your phone, pop in athletics.com/@tickets to grab yours today.
A Kelly Green Matt Chapman giveaway jersey. That's high demand right there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just the Kelly Green jerseys in general are already very popular. And then you throw Matt Chapman's name in the back. Valbuena, Marte, Rivera here in the top of the 4th inning. Game 3 of the season. There's the Kelly Green jersey. Looked good last night.
There's something going to see Matt Chapman do quite a bit throughout a season. Playing the shortstop position with a shift. Checks where he is, reaches over, makes a great grab on a play that looked like it was going to the seats. Fans doing a good job getting out of the way. The A's fans, as Matt Chapman, I think they're getting accustomed to him making those kind of plays, so they're just going to shy away, and ball happens to go into the seats. They can grab it.
Skied toward Piscotty and right. He's got it. So 1 away here in the 4th inning. So Ray, it's like the old days when the A's spread the color of the uniforms around. Thursday, all white. Last night, Kelly Green with white pants. Today, of course, the Fort Knox gold with the white pants. I like it.
Well, and of course, in the early era of the wedding gown white on Sunday, which was on Thursday, the home opener. Come back with the wedding gown white on Sunday as well.
Sure.
Got 13 home Sundays.
You're going to see the Kelly Green jerseys every Friday. So a good mix and match this year. I like that.
And usually starting pitchers can dictate what kind of color of jersey they're going to wear. But the Angels, doesn't matter. It's gray. White at home. They occasionally wear the red alternate jersey. But if the pitcher comes up on a Friday and he doesn't like green, gets scratched. Doesn't get to pitch because I'm not going to wear this gold when it's my green, or green my gold. So it's, well, you put on whatever jersey it is. Charlie used to call from Chicago, "Hey Frank, put the golds out." Put the greens out.
He had his reasons, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Roll up the sleeves a little bit. You see that?
That's right.
2-1 pitch is hit hard to Chapman. Scoops it up. Good arm right across the diamond.
Matt Chapman, he has great hands to catch the ball, but it's almost like, okay, I've caught it, now I'll spin the ball around and get a four-seam grip, and a perfect bullet clothesline across the diamond. And Ole just puts his foot on the bag, lifts his glove up, and that's good hands. It takes reps, it takes repetition to be able to hit ground balls to Matt Chapman. I'm sure Matt Williams does that a lot, and it's pretty consistent. Just catch the ball and throw it.
First pitch curve in for a strike to Rene Rivera.
And as they always say, those routine plays, make those all the time. The spectacular ones, Chapman can do those as well. But it's the ones right at the third baseman that you want to see. The old routine style play, catch and throw.
High strike, 0-2. Got it covered.
I hope his hands are clean. I don't think it matters. It's just making sure the moisture's there.
Migden looking for his second 3-up, 3-down inning. Rivera spoils that breaking ball, rolls it foul. Rene Rivera, free agent this past offseason, signed with the Angels, 1 year, $2.8 million contract for Rene Rivera. He's been around a little bit.
Not bad work to catch about 30-35 games.
Take it. Swing and a miss. High fastball, he got it. So 4 strikeout for Migden, 3-0 as these come to bat in the bottom of the 4th. Broken free from behind home plate. Where are you at, Dallas?
That's right, boys. I'm down here on the third base side. I'm in these new expanded field box seats, brand new to the Oakland A's 2018 season. These seat boxes are pretty sweet. These boxes include special parking, free parking. You get free drinks, adults. They're enjoying it. It's a great family scene out here as well. I'm with my buddy Ryan Young from Sacramento. Rhino, talk to me a little bit here, babe. You've been watching Matt Chapman make Gold Glove plays all afternoon. What's this like being this close to the action?
It's pretty cool. It's a lot better than when we were up there. It feels like you're more involved in the actual game than just watching it.
Did you guys know, were you given any special instructions when you made your way down here to the seating area? Because you are right on top of these guys.
Don't lean over the railings or you'll get kicked out.
So basically what you and I just did moments ago after that foul ball, we're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, well, we'll clean it up and we'll get better at this. And we're with Mom here. Now, Mom, let's talk a little bit. We talked about the parking situation, and we know that can be a bear for some folks at times. But free parking, free beverages, is that a big sell point?
It's a big sell point, especially the parking.
Especially the parking. I mean, that's part of planning the day, right? You get out to the ballpark, maybe a little tailgate session. That's all taken care of now.
It's very easy, yes.
So it makes everything for the family outing. I mean, were you getting hounded by Rhino? Mom, come on, field box seats. It's Matt Chapman at third base. We could smell what he had for breakfast. Let's get there.
Yeah, no, it was a surprise, but after today, I'm sure it'll be
So we'll see you back.
We'll see you back.
Right on. Well, guys, I'm going to enjoy myself here down in the sun of these new field boxes. I'll send it back up to you. Take in the ball game, folks.
I so much want there to be a foul ball down there and see if Dallas Braden can just reach over the railing
And get thrown out.
and then have David Brunetti just run him out of there. That's a good spot.
Yeah.
Remember that third row is new. It was just 2 rows for many years, but now the field boxes consist of 3 rows, not only down the third base line, but down the first base line as well.
Most importantly, what happened to Marcus Semien on that play? I mean, was that a delayed call, or did I mean it was like he was at the plate, then all of a sudden he's heading back to the dugout. But that was good stuff from Dallas Braden down in the front row, and of course I wonder how those people decided third base versus first. Matt Chapman, of course, but you also have the tarp.
That's true. Lowry hits it right on the button, but right into the glove of Jeffrey Marte. So tough luck for Lowry, and now there are 2 outs.
Yeah, good swing, good solid contact, but excellent play by Marte. Again, Albert Pujols DHing today. He started the first 2 games defensively. Day game after night game, not a bad day to give a half day off for the big man.
So 2 quick outs. Here's Chris Davis. Davis struck out in the second. 3 strikeouts for Shoemaker. He has not walked anybody. He's allowed 1 hit so far. He's had 48 pitches. Fastball right on the outside corner. Davis rolls it foul.
Yeah, watching Shoemaker today, as mentioned, he had a run on the board before he took the mound, and some pitchers have to learn how to pitch with a lead, trailing. I mean, it all is encompassing as far as a pitcher, how you handle different situations.
Line drive, left center field, a base hit. Upton trying to cut it off. He won't. It rolls to the base of the wall, and Davis has a 2-out double.
Chris Davis again tried to sneak a fastball by. Forget it. That pitch a little bit outside, but he's pulling a little bit more. That ball into left center, and usually when Chris Davis hits the ball, the top spin is going to carry it way past the outfielder, even one who plays as deep as Upton does. Playing no doubles, the double got by him anyway, or the ball got by him for the double. Hit it that hard, and the top spin on the grass, it does pick up speed.
So here's Olson, who will try to knock in Davis. Matt Olson struck out swinging in the second inning. Matt now 2 for 10 to open up this season. In the dirt, blocked by Vidal.
Well, we talked about catchers. Rivera, good job there. Of course, the veteran that he is, he's not going to catch a lot because Maldonado's an outstanding catcher. Will catch more times than not, but when you are not an everyday catcher, your first priority is to catch. You got no pitching staff. Block balls in the dirt. Exactly what Rivera did. Maldonado will get maybe. 26-week season. You have some day game after night games, some quick turnarounds, especially later in the season. But he will be back there, as we have seen. And another stat for BI to check on an opposite player, and that would be see if Maldonado takes the ball off his chest protector and catches it before it hits the ground.
He's on that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you call his good friend Brian down with the Angels. Let him do that. Because Brian and BI, 2 of the best.
So now it's 3-0.
His splitter starting to stay up a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
That was kind of up and floated away. Instead of being in the strike zone and up, it went away from him.
Green light from Matt Olson.
Had one yesterday or last night. But when you have a green light, you want to see the ball pulled. You don't want to see the ball down the left field line if you're a left-handed hitter. Must have known. You read your mind.
The 3-0 change.
You know, first base open, and the luxury of pitching that way and maybe trying to preserve what is now a shutout, but takes a chance and makes a mistake. Could be a 1-run game, or Stephen Piscotty could get one of those and make it a tie game.
Olson out in front of that one, so another changeup. So full count to Matt Olson.
Well, so watch it. See how it hit and just picked up speed as it hit the grass with the top speed, top spin on it.
Payoff pitch, here it is. Down the left field line, and it's going to drift foul into the seats.
This has been a steady diet of splitters in this at-bat to Matt Olson.
It's the great back and forth for a pitcher and a hitter. Shoemaker may be thinking, well, is this the time to try to slip a fastball by him? And Matt Olson doesn't want to miss an opportunity to hit a fastball, but he's not sure if Shoemaker would do that. And he went with a fastball just a little bit outside. So he was going to keep it away from him. So that's the first walk issued by Shoemaker.
So, Mike Scioscia, was that pitch away? Mike, he would like to manage from behind home plate so he could see every pitch that's thrown, but that's where he depends on his catcher to tell him inside, outside, up, down. He could tell up and down, but he thought the pitch was a strike height-wise, and the pitch did float off the plate.
2 on, 2 out for Piscotty. He's need a big hit. Piscotty grounded out to third in the second inning. Swing and a miss. And like a sharp slider, breaking ball.
Just not giving in, especially with the first offering. The ball tailing away from him. Shoemaker does throw a slider. Looked like a little slider spin on that one. Split has been his pitch today.
Davis and Olsen are the runners. They are ready to roll on the crack of the bat. 2 outs. Swing and a miss. Stayed with it. And Piscotty a little out of whack right now.
A slider. Just moving away. Dotted the outside corner. Mingin is always ready. Glove in the hand. Looking for a big hit from Stephen Piscotty.
Shoemaker kicks and fires, and he got him swinging. That one floated toward the inside part of the plate, so big strikeout for Shoemaker. He's got 4, and the A's strand a pair in the 4th inning. Top of the 5th inning, the Angels leading 3-0, and they will send the top of their order up against Daniel Migden. Migden has actually pitched pretty well today. A couple of balls that have got past outfielders on diving attempts, and there's a costly error by Simeon. Wild pitch on a strikeout.
And that's
the
rest
rating
of the
kind of cost
scoring.
him. Yeah, because really...
You know, you said something. I don't know, it was last night. I think that Matt Chapman took one off the chest, picked it up, and got a force at second base. The one thing about the 2 plays in the outfield and the diving efforts, the balls have gone past him. The one thing you like to see, if possible, and easier said than done, and that's get your body in front of a ball and knock it down so it keep it close. Once you dive, it goes past you. If your outfielder is backing up, it's still going to be at least 2, maybe 3 in the case of Kozar. But you know, it's one of those things that sometimes you go in the dive, maybe smother the ball with your body if you're going to make the attempt. And again, easier said than done because it's such a reactionary play.
Hit hard right at Powell, 1 out. Yeah, if you can pull that off, both of those balls that were hit, even though they're not caught, they would have been singled.
You know, Joyce tried that last night in left field, and it kind of put his body in front, but it kicked off to the side. The ball that Upton hit, and that was a big run because it allowed Trout to score from first, the extra run in the 9th inning. You're right about Daniel Migden. I mean, considering everything that has happened, it's still just a 3-run game, and the A's were down 4-0 on Thursday before they came back, tied it, and eventually won in 11 innings.
First pitch to Trout, a little bit high. Trout RBI double in the first, and then Trout was the hitter that reached first base on the strikeout wild pitch in the 3rd, and he eventually scored. It was a 2-run 3rd inning for the Angels. That one on the outside corner. 1-1 to Trout. Runs that one a little bit inside. That one hooked down the left field line, and it is fair. It bounced off the wall. Davis gets it in quickly, and it's a double for Mike Trout, his 2nd double in the game.
We can see on the pitch before here, Trout took that fastball inside. We talked about the arm side run. Good job by Mengden to crowd him, but naturally after you miss in, sometimes you go away, and it feels like Trout was thinking with both Maxwell and Mengden. Took that curveball up in the zone, was able to take it down the left field line. Just stays fair. Second double of the day for Mike Trout.
So Trout, 3 hits now in the series. A homer and 2 doubles. And here's Upton with Pujols waiting in the on-deck circle. Trout runs. And Maxwell will not make a throw. Head first slide for Trout, and that's a stolen base. That's the thing with Trout. He's not going to steal 50 bases anymore, but when you really need one, he has plenty of speed to do it.
Well, especially with 1 out, now the infield has to come in.
And if you're a hitter behind him, I mean, that's full speed.
He could probably be a 40-40 easily every year.
No question.
I mean, that's a part of his game, guys, that I would really like to see stay consistent. I mean, for selfish reasons, just to watch that sort of athleticism day in, day out. But when you think about the type of game situation we're in right now, 3-0, as you said, Foss, still a good ball game here. But now he's in runner, he's in scoring position, less than 2 outs. Could be that insurance run that we talk about being tacked on.
That one tapped foul. Now, Trout, his first season in the big leagues, his first full season, which was 2012, he stole 49 bases. The next year, he stole 33. Since then, his stolen base totals have been 16, 11, 30, and 22. So not running quite as much. But
you see what he has on his left hand, and that was the surgery from last year. He puts the protection on so he cannot jam or injure his thumb or fingers. Glove on the right hand, but it
was the left one that he injured last year, and you'll see base stealers do that, especially sliding head first and going in so they don't jam their fingers into the bag, which, as we have seen, is very hard. But he is the complete player and a smart player. That's the biggest thing, because he realized 1 out, infield back, get a stolen base, infield comes in, and there they are, even with the bags on the grass. Makes the hitter a lot better hitter. In the case of Upton, who's already a good hitter.
Big swing and a miss. He struck him out. Elevated fastball, and that is strikeout number 5.
Just a good job of continuing to change the eye level, going breaking ball before, now rise, climb that ladder. Upton unable to catch up to the octane. Good job by Mengden moving the heater around as well.
One of the things about a hitter, if you're thinking as a good hitter, and the game has changed because of the strikeouts and the home runs, but there's a case of a 2-strike pitch. You go soft, maybe catches up to it. Goes a fastball, rolls it by.
So now you got to get Pujols. And he drives one. Left center field. Powell on the move. Powell on the move. And he cannot get it. Bangs off the left center field wall. Trout scores. Pujols to second with a double. Sensational effort by Boog Powell. I thought for just a moment he may have caught it. But it just got over his head. He seems to be okay out there. How close was he?
Not close, but ball hit too hard, and so hard as he got to it with a great effort, banged up against the wall. KD, Chris Davis, getting over there as quickly as possible, just over the outstretch, knowing that he was going to bang hard on the warning track. But a good effort, just could not come up with it. But there's the ambush by Albert Pujols. He had been seeing what Mengden was doing. Second pitch in the first at bat, fourth pitch in the second, and then first pitch this at bat. Back-to-back hits, back-to-back run scoring hits.
620th double. So a couple of run scoring hits today for Pujols. With a couple of doubles in this inning. Liam Hendriks starts to throw. 77 pitches for Mengden. Cole Calhoun has struck out and he has popped to short. Calhoun had the big game opening day. Calhoun had 3 hits on opening day, including homer, a triple. Last night 0 for 3. Chapman straddles the line. He's got it, and that will do it. But another run for the Angels. Pujols with a 2-out RBI double. So as we head to the bottom of the 5th, the Angels lead the A's 4-0. Schwartz, a happy 99th birthday. There he is on the left. Forever A's fan. So, Bud Schwartz, happy birthday. We'll need a comeback to make Bud's birthday complete.
So he was 49 when the A's came west.
Good call. Good call.
He's been a fan for 50 years.
Calhoun dives. Be careful, Cole Calhoun. He did not come up with it. So he was 54 years old when Ray Fosse got to Oakland.
That's right.
So he was probably digging Ray Fosse.
Yeah.
Favorite player.
Come on, guys. It's your own guy. Don't just get out of the way. Remember, there's about a 2x10 that keeps the balls from going underneath the bullpen bench. Cole Calhoun slid right into it. If they have a kangaroo court, they're all fine.
Yeah, all of them.
Bang, 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 bang. All of them.
Man, they were bailing.
They probably thought, well, he's not going to get this far.
They're running like they were looking for dry ground. Matt Chapman had a leadoff single in the 3rd. That one looked like it was well off the plate, but called a strike, so it's 1-2. Bounced foul. Astros leading the Rangers 4-1 in the 5th inning in Arlington. McCullers and Moore, that's Matt Moore for the Rangers. Each team has won a game in that series, so keep an eye on that one. The Indians leading the Mariners 6-3 in the 5th inning at Safeco. Carrasco and Paxton. Yonder Alonso has hit a home run in that game. Yonder Alonso with the Indians.
Former Mariner last year, traded to Seattle.
Taken over for Santana, first base in Cleveland.
About when Yonder was traded to Seattle last year in Anaheim, he sat in the clubhouse. He could play. Yeah, he could play. Couldn't play for the A's. Didn't go to Seattle yet.
Yonder got a 2-year deal to go to Cleveland. Missed badly outside, and it's a leadoff walk. So see if the A's can do some business here in the bottom of the 5th.
Slider, 4-run lead. Go slider, trying to get a chase strikeout on a 3-2 pitch. Wasn't even close. At least like to tempt the hitter to swing at a bad pitch or swing at a slider going away.
The A's have had just 1 at-bat, make it 2 at-bats with runners in scoring position today, a walk and a strikeout. Last night they were 1 for 9 in that category. Powell hits one high and foul down the left field line. Yankees and the Blue Jays tied 2-2 in the 6th inning in Toronto. See, Aaron Judge is starting in center field today. How about that? He's a good outfielder. So the Yankees figure he can handle it. Short term anyways. Hit hard to Simmons. And that's going to be a double play as the ball was hit hard enough, and that allowed the Angels to turn the double play against a very fast runner in Boog Powell.
I don't know if that's good pitching or good
Good positioning.
Positioning, good luck, whatever. Turns out to be the Atlanta ball. It hit hard enough, like you said, that not many guys are going to ground into double plays unless it's hit as hard as that one was by Boog Powell. Coming across the back was Cozart, and without it being hit as hard as it was, probably would not have been a double play.
So 2 outs for Maxwell. Maxwell hit a line shot that Valbuena, the third baseman, reached up and caught. Cozart wrestles with it, flips to first, side retired. So the double play helps Shoemaker, and we are moving to the 6th inning. 4-0 Angels.
22 is now the A's Community Fund section. You can pick your price, and all ticket proceeds benefit the Oakland A's charitable arm, which takes an innovative and dynamic approach to support education, promote youth sports, and provide economic opportunity in order to help make Oakland and the East Bay a more equitable and inclusive community. It's right above us to the left, the section 322 in the upper deck. So pick your price and come out and enjoy Wednesday baseball.
Oh, look at that. Any type of food in a plastic helmet.
Wow.
It's the best.
Think I have chopsticks? I'd rather have a fork. I've never been able to use chopsticks because I like to eat fast.
Well, it's all you got to do is shake your hand, and then you'd realize that
look at it.
Those mitts that you have would have no chance with the chopsticks.
That'd be like Foss trying to use 2 pin needles.
Exactly.
No chance.
Lowry grabs it on the backhand. Simmons with a very hard hit ball, but Lowry grabbed it. 1 away here in the top of the 6th inning.
Simmons caught a ground ball to start a 6-4-3 double play, and then walking dejectedly back to the dugout after lining out to Jed Lowry. Hey, payback is heck, man. You know, you take away 2, you take away a hit too. It's all right. I think Mike Socha will be happy with him catching the ball and turning 2 instead of driving it.
Good breaking ball in for a strike to Luis Valbuena. Dallas Braden back in his spot behind home plate. There's the shift with Chapman playing at the shortstop spot in a couple steps.
If we lose Dallas for an inning or 2, he may be in the diamond level eating all the food. You know, just checking it out and sampling. All he has to do is just step over the rail.
So it's the food thing in the field boxes, Dallas. You can go to town down there as well. Anything you want.
Oh, you can get after it, guys. Like I said, free food, free drinks, free snacks. I mean, it's an amazing setup there. Especially you talk about the parking. Yeah. As we talked to Miss Young, she said it makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah, it sure does.
So when you talk about a family experience, and she was awesome. She talked about, I've been coming here since the 70s, and now I've got my 2 boys here and my husband. So it really is a complete and total family affair, and they couldn't be more excited to have the opportunity to sit even closer to Matt Chapman. Her young son, the youngest boy I made friends with there, Ryan, he said, yeah, Matt Chapman, I feel like he's in my lap.
He may be on a foul ball at some point this year. Yeah, that's nice. They look like they're having a good time down there.
The one thing that does not extend that far, though, is the netting.
That's right. That's right, Foss. I told him.
It's wide open, and you really have to pay attention because while it's a pretty good distance from home plate, there can be some line drives coming off the bat. In this case, left-handers look out on the third base line. Right-handers the right field line.
Olsen scoops it up. Hard hit ball. So that's out number 2. You see, there's the netting and how far it is extended down all the way to the end of the.
Yeah, but this is the level down here where Dallas was sitting on the third base side. So yeah, it's a great shot, guys, because there is the netting. You're protected behind the dugout.
And that any spot behind the dugout was never covered. It was the netting just did not go down that far. It's been done in every ballpark.
Guys, I tell you what, about another thing about the netting over in Japan, the Yomiuri Giants and other teams have taken this on. They actually sell those seats that I was just visiting. They sell those as excitement seats. And when you buy that ticket, listen here, when you buy that ticket and you show up to your seat, you've got a ball glove on your seat, you've got a helmet on your seat, and it's pretty much to let you know you are in play, folks.
That's right.
Not a bad idea. If you have those two, and maybe most important, you just pay attention.
That's right.
And check your cell phones at the gate, because you're looking down, all of a sudden, bop, you hit the top of the head, or you might look up too late. And, you've got to be a fan. You've got to be, well, a glove. Put the glove on. Double ear flap.
It's a good look right there.
That's it. Cracker Jacks, man. There's your staple.
Strike, 2-2. Free Marte not convinced about that strike call.
I think that's what happened to Marcus Semien a couple of bats ago.
Maxwell sets up inside. He was looking for some arm side run right there.
That's
right,
right,
Dallas?
That's right. You got it, Kite.
See, I'm getting there. Getting there. You know the pitcher lingo. 3-2 pitch is tapped foul. Knocking it down.
There's the helmet with the nachos in it. Oh, just getting ready to devour it right there. Forget about the forks. The knives go to the fingers.
Another shot foul. Nice play. Knock it down. You're there to protect Liam Hendricks.
That's right.
And he did.
What's that, Ben? Ben's down there. Don't make enough, boys. See?
That's a good play.
Check your right hand. Go see the trainer. Nick, I broke my finger.
We got ice.
My palm is bruised. Yeah.
See, that was a better one that he called for strike 2.
So Marte walks.
Here comes Scott Emerson. Let's see this breaking ball. If the other was called a strike, that's got to be a strike. Speaking of arm side run.
Sounds like a movie.
Justin Turner got some arm side run from Kendall Graveman.
Sure did.
In the exhibition season, the ball just ran right in on his right hand, or his left hand, one of the hands.
And that's you think about that combination. Graveman's ball runs that way. Turner, who's a terrific hitter, but he crowds the plate and he gets hit by pitches a lot. I don't want to say you're not surprised that it happened, but you can see where it would happen with that combination.
Well, it's a give and take. You think about a guy like Anthony Rizzo, a guy like Daniel Murphy. These are guys who crowd the plate, try to turn that outside pitch into a pitch middle that they can handle with authority anywhere. Well, the byproduct of that is going to be a few bumps and bruises on the elbows and rib cages.
And you should not be upset if you're a hitter doing that.
Oh, no.
Whenever you do get hit or balls running inside, and you see some hitters that will stare out at the mound. Well, if you're crowding the plate, I'm sorry, because you're extended beyond the outside part of the plate a good 2 or 3 inches.
And that is that exciting battle between pitcher and hitter, understanding I have to take a part of this plate away, and you might be willing to give me one, but if it's the same one you're trying to own, well, we're going to lock horns.
Yep, exactly.
0-1 the count to Rene Rivera. Rivera rolls that one foul as it may have went off his foot a little bit. Got some part of the leg.
Just off of the protection, but a thud. He felt it anyway. Just think how bad it would have been had he not had the little shin guard.
Pitch number 98 coming up from Daniel Migden, with Hendricks pretty much ready to go down in the bullpen. Angels bullpen is quiet. Nice block by Maxwell. Well, I think Migden, to stay in this game, Ray, he's got to get Rivera.
That's true. Nice way to finish, and just think about a good performance. A little bit better luck would have been a different story. 10, 11. Oh, another foot. Make it even a dozen.
My guess is if you get to 12 feet on your lead, that's a pretty good lead.
Well, it's a cutout.
Just a touch high. 2-2 the count.
It's a good battle here. Went curveball before that high fastball. Rivera was able to lay off. Soft front puppies, as I like to say. He went up with the heater, changed the eye level. Like to see Ming come back with that breaking ball down and out, get the fish to bite. Staying hard.
And coming inside. And that one is lined to center for a hit. Ball was a little up in the strike zone. So Rivera gets his second hit, and that's going to do it for Migden. So Bob Melvin coming out, Hendricks coming in. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and smog experts.
.com on your phone. Play and win now.
For 4-0, the Angels lead. They are threatening here in the 6th inning. 2 on, 2 out. So Liam Hendricks comes in. He just wants to get the A's back in the dugout. He'll face Zach Cozart, the leadoff hitter. So 5 2/3 for Daniel Migden. Right at 100 pitches.
First pitch is critical because reliever comes in. Liam Hendricks has a good fastball, but a couple of times during the spring he came in to throw fastballs and they were hit hard. So if you're scout watching, maybe you say, hey, think fastball first pitch. Let's see what Liam Hendricks does on the first offering. There's your breaking ball. At least take the mind away from the hitter of seeing something straight.
That's right, boss. I like to think that there's 3 things relievers have to do when entering a ball game. You have to come in spinning, and I mean you got to come in throwing your breaking ball for strikes. You have to control the running game, and you absolutely have to be able to field your position.
Cozart has tripled and scored. He has struck out, and he lined to center. There's a strike. Good fastball.
And see, there's a difference. First pitch breaking ball, while it was out of the strike zone, hitter's got to be thinking he's going to come back with a fastball, but he painted the corner. Maybe the thought of being another breaking ball was in the back of his mind, but it's amazing how relief pitchers come in. The hitter's thinking, I'm going to sit dead red first pitch. If he throws it, I'm going to be ready for it.
Caught the outside corner again. And again, 94 miles an hour.
Good job of bringing that pitch back. Not the tremendous run that we're used to seeing, especially out of Migden earlier. Just a great spot up fastball, low and away. Very, very tough pitch to hit.
That was an arm side run to the outside
arm
part
side, Dallas. Arm
to the outside part of the plate.
That's right.
Bringing it back.
A back whip fastball, as they say.
Hendricks ahead in the count. Kicks and deals, and he just missed.
1 slider, 3 fastballs.
Marte at second, Rivera at first. Maxwell blocks it, and now they're going to have Marte in a rundown to throw to third. Got him.
Kept the tag on.
Marte drifted off on the ball that rolled away from Maxwell, and then he got caught right in between second and third.
Well, if the A's get the out, they were fortunate, because the one thing about Maxwell throwing behind, Marte did the right thing going to third. See if he overslid the bag. Well, did they see the back, the left hand? I mean, I don't know that it came off the bag, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know that he did either. It looked like he was able to keep the left hand on, but
unless Chapman blocked him off.
What about the initial?
Did he block him off? Maybe there's the tag where I see his foot's on the bag. Maybe his hand was touching the foot, and maybe.
Well, you'll be able to tell here to see if
he
Chapman's foot comes into play here.
See the left hand? Is his foot blocking his hand? Does look safe.
So they're looking at it.
We're seeing a play like that from a catcher standpoint. You see the guy halfway off. No matter where you throw, if you throw to third, he's going to go back. You throw to second, he's going to go to third. Run at it. Yeah. Make him make the move before you make the throw.
Because you want to get him back to the lesser bag, right, obviously.
But once you throw, by the time you throw from home to second, he's halfway to third. He's going to keep going.
It's a long throw.
It's a long throw.
And there's a lot of responsibility in a play like that. To Voss's point, run at him, but we use a term called hook him. And to your point, Kite, you want to hook him back to the original bag he's vacating from.
Yeah.
So the catcher gives that ball up maybe to the shortstop or second baseman. He's going to take over at third to get involved in that rundown. The pitcher's job is now to get to home just in case for some reason there is an overthrow at third base and that runner wants to come all the way home. So there's a lot of responsibility to happen on that play.
The only thing maybe he slid into his foot, and that's so that's going to be a stolen base and a wild pitch. Yeah, it was a wild pitch, not a stolen base, because he was caught off on the
on the
pitch.
field, overturned.
All right, so now it's first and third.
But you know, the one thing spring training is for plays like that. You know, PFPs for the pitchers, pitcher fielding practice, but from the catcher standpoint, you know, you see the guy off, you think, okay, I got it. But, you know, that's the long throw, and that's one of the problems. And Marte did a great job. Continued to third once the throw went to second.
Yeah, in Dallas's point, if you just run right at him, he's probably going to freeze. He's going to have to make a decision at some point.
And then you can stop as a catcher and throw to wherever he goes.
Cozart, right center. Piscotty can't get it. One run scores, and they're going to wave home Rivera. The throw to the plate, offline, 2-run score, and it's 6-0. The Angels lead. So that one hurt.
You got a fastball up out over the heart of the plate. Cozart did. Just does a good job of going the other way with this pitch. See, Boog had him shade slightly to the left field side of second base. Just that Bermuda Triangle out there.
So a big 2-out, 2-run double by Cozart.
It looked like if Piscotty going straight after the ball, he might have a chance to catch it.
Yep. And there's a line drive to right field. The base hit by Trout. Cozart comes in. He's going to score, and now it's 7-0. Trout, 3 hits and a couple of RBIs today.
And all of a sudden, entering the game, hitting 100 with 1 home run, 1 run batted in, RBI double. So Trout not wasting any time. Here's your first pitch fastball, the arm side run back in towards a nice swing from Mike Trout, inside out, and that's a slight delay on the swing, but so quick once he does start his bat. And Cozart, who started out with a first pitch slider, went fastball after fastball, and then ends up throwing a high fastball, and it gets the double.
First pitch to Upton is inside. So it all started, Ray, with a 2-out walk to Marte, the 8th place hitter.
On a 3-2 breaking ball, 3-2 curveball.
So Migden, 6 runs allowed, 5 earned runs in 5 2/3 innings. So maybe
well, this is the what happened on the wild pitch. Nice block, and then halfway to third, the throw to second, and Mingen slips a little bit as he's heading. They called him out initially. Overturn was the call.
Upton waves at that one. But you could see in that replay why you would want to run at him.
That's right. Yeah. I said Mingden actually was Hendrick who had thrown the pitch and slipped a little bit as he was heading to third.
So 1-2 to Upton, who is 0 for 3. He does have an RBI. Again blocked by Maxwell. So after the 2-out walk, a single, a double, and a single. And 3 runs have scored here in the 6th inning. So unfortunately today it just has not been a clean defensive game for the Athletics.
No.
It has cost them.
Well, when your manager comes out into spring training and out of spring training saying it's a better defensive team, and then you expect to make the plays defensively because you see the teams that make so few errors that every time a ground ball is hit, you say, okay, it's going to be an out, maybe 2, but it's not going to be an error. And
you know, too, in this game today, Ray, the A's have made 1 error. But there's been a lot of other plays that are not going to go down as errors that have really been defensive mistakes.
Absolutely. And you have to do one thing. You have to give credit to the Angels because they've taken advantage of it.
Davis is under it. He grabs it, side retired. 3 runs on 3 hits. So we're going to the bottom of the 6th. It's now 7-0. The Angels lead. Up this 4-game set here at the Coliseum, and we're looking forward to it. Daniel Gossett against Shohei Ohtani making his first major league start. Coverage begins at 12:30 with A's pregame live. Remember, you can now stream the A's on the go with NBCSportsCalifornia.com and the NBC Sports app. So a big day tomorrow for that young man, Shohei Ohtani. A's will see him for the first time, and Ray, it's going to be the first time of probably many. Because Ohtani is.
That's right.
He's going to be with the Angels for a long time. He's a rookie. He's got a rookie salary, and so better get used to facing Shohei Ohtani. There he is, young 23-year-old right-hander.
You know, he wasn't even on the roster until the end of spring training.
Yeah, because he was really.
And that's today, and he's not even playing. Oh, they got the big heads, though. They're trying to shoot over the big heads.
That's interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah, there's been obviously a heavy Japanese media presence the first 3 days of this series, and I would imagine it's going to be significantly larger even tomorrow. Scooped up Valbuena, and that's out number 2. Now we do not know obviously the pitching matchups for the A's Angels 3-game series next weekend in Anaheim, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But if he's pitching tomorrow, I would say there's a pretty good chance that he would pitch one of those 3 games in Anaheim. So that would be his first home start, and that will be a big deal down there. See, the Angels, they will go home after the game tomorrow. They will have their home opener on Monday night against the Indians. So they play Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday off day. But so decent chance A's will see him either Saturday or Sunday.
Well, and the one thing, until Andrew Heaney comes back, they'll stay with the 5-man rotation, and depending on the off days, but they're going to stay with their guys. The fact that Ohtani is number 4, according to at least the start, 4th start. But I would think for Mike Scioscia, having to determine who's going to be pitching against the Angels before he pitches and after, because those are the games that typically he is not going to play according to what they said. So it's a scheduling nightmare, it seems, probably for the Angels to determine. Charles Nagy, the pitching coach, Scioscia, of course, the manager, Eric Hinsky, the hitting coach, and trying to get him on both sides of the ball. But one thing we noticed Thursday, he doesn't wait around. He sees the ball, he hits the ball, at least makes a swing at it.
Well, and it's not like another manager has done this before.
That's right.
This is really a first. And Mike Scioscia is the guy who really has to handle it, which I'm sure he will.
Well, guys, and I don't think there's any doubt that Shohei Ohtani's outing is going to be the most anticipated outing across Major League Baseball, even with the big studs. You know, a guy like Kershaw, and a lot of eyes on that game, no doubt. But Ohtani taking the mound for the first time, that's going to be appointment television.
Well, there's such a curiosity factor on just seeing him pitch, just seeing what he looks like and what his delivery looks like and all that. And then on top of that, there's expectations. And on top of that, there was the fact that in spring training, he did not look real sharp. Now it was just spring training, and I think the Angels tried to protect him a little bit. But still, now it's time where there's no protecting. You're out there. So it's going to be very interesting. Chris Davis rips one toward the left field corner. Jed Lowry headed for third, and Matt Williams will hold him up. And that was the right thing to do, as Upton had it come off the wall right to him. He played it well and got it in quickly.
Well, a 2-out walk, a 2-out double. Cincinnati can do what the Angels did in the top half of the inning, but they need to come up with a 2-out hit. And there's the ball played perfectly off the left field wall. And you'd have to think for Justin Upton playing for the Tigers, was the San Diego, but boy, with the Angels, it's optimum weather for any player, especially having been back in the Midwest and East the early part of the season. So Chris Davis pulled the ball to left center and one down the line for doubles today, 2 of them. So maybe he's going to hit 300 and hit 40 this year.
Well, that would be nice.
You know, speaking of Ohtani, as the bullpen is going to get loose for the Angels, but remember Yu Darvish when he first came to the league? He beat the A's his first start, never came close after that. And then eventually was traded from the Rangers to the Dodgers, signed with the Cubs. So we'll see as Ohtani, because like you said, in the Western Division, playing the Angels 19 times. Because the A's have seen Felix Hernandez, it seems like every time they face him each year. So that would be 5 to 6 max.
First pitch to Olson, just a little bit low. Need to get on the board. Olson has struck out and he has walked. Close pitch, just a little bit low, 2-0.
Well, he has seen nothing but splits today from this man. It's unbelievable. I think now, typically a pitcher gets runners in score position, he changes everything. Tries to get hitters to chase bad pitches. So far, Olson has been patient, as he was in his last bat when he walked.
Again, misses low.
So his first at bat 3-2 split struck him out. Second at bat 3-2 split walking, and that was just on the 3-2 pitch. And here's 3-0. And we saw last time when he had 3-0, he got a split finger fastball.
Pitch is a splitter. Right on the outside corner. It was a perfect pitch. Shoemaker kicks, and the 3-1 pitch is low. So now the bases are loaded. I don't want to say that it was a pitch around, but I thought he pitched him carefully, and Piscotty
right fielder
struck out on 3 pitches in his last at bat. So could be that Shoemaker, even though it's a 7-0 lead for him, he may have been pitching carefully to Olson. Maybe.
Well, if the first pitch is a splitter, you know what he's thinking.
And it was. Outside corner swing and a miss. Piscotty is also grounded out, so he's 0 for 2. Good numbers in his career with the bases loaded. 10 for 24 with a couple of grand slams. Trying it again. This one blocked by Rene Rivera.
Well, as we have mentioned throughout this series, you have a pitcher who throws a lot of splitters, a lot of breaking pitches in the dirt. You want your catchers to move. Rivera, that's a good job. Glove starts on the ground, stays on the ground, does a nice job blocking the curveball, the slider that Shoemaker threw. Try to get a chase from Piscotty.
Swing and a miss.
That was a mistake that he got away with. Guys goes hot, that's a slam or a gapper.
That's right. It's that backup slider here. It's the one that guys would really wish they could be able to control. Elevated backup slider. You get those kind of swing and misses. Oh, buddy.
It's an arm side backup slider.
Way outside. Hey, you can almost hear a pitcher saying on a backup slider, no, no, no.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
yes, yes.
You let it go and you hope there was a string attached to it. I'd like that back.
Crowd making some noise. A little over 17,000 this afternoon. And the 2-2 pitch. Hit hard left field, a base hit. 2 runs are going to score. Piscotty comes through, and it's 7-2.
Well, a mistake finally took advantage of the mistake that was thrown. Stayed soft. As Mike Scioscia's going to make the move, but before that, we'll see this hanger. In a part of the plate. And it stayed up, and stayed with Piscotty with the ball coming in on his hands, able to pull the hands in and get it past the diving third baseman, Valbuena.
So when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. It's your trusted oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Broadcast on your desktop or mobile device. A's games stream on the go on the NBC Sports app. Some of the highlights from opening day, which was a walk-off win for the Athletics. 2 days later, A's trailing 7-2, but making some noise here in the 6th. Matt Shoemaker is out. 90 pitches, 5 2/3. And now it's Cam Bedrosian. He pitched on opening day, faced 4 hitters, allowed 3 hits, and gave up a run. First pitch to Chapman is a strike on the outside corner. So Bedrosian trying to bounce back after a tough first outing. Olsen at second, Piscotty at first. So Piscotty picks up his first 2 RBIs in an A's uniform. Angels bullpen in this series has thrown 8 innings and given up 3 runs. Chapman, right field. It's going to get down, and it's going to go into the corner. It's going to score Olsen. Piscotty to third. He'll stop there. Chapman with an RBI double. Now it's 7-3.
Well, just an outstanding job by Chapman. Saw a breaking ball up in the zone. Bedrosian comes back, tries to attack with a fastball. They're trying to go outside. It leaks back over the heart of the plate. Chapman does a great job of staying inside this ball. We know what kind of power this young man possesses. Delivers the shot down the right field line. Puts the A's back on the board.
So Chapman, single, walk, and a double today. So he's been on base all 3 times. And now, A's need 1 more hit to really be back in this game. First pitch to Powell is a strike inside corner.
We're talking about Mike Trout seeing the ball, letting it travel deep, and that's what Matt Chapman does a very good job, and it makes him a better off-speed hitter. But that fastball was almost by him, yet able to hit it hard down the right field line. Played exceptionally well by Calhoun to prevent another run from scoring. The ball slices like that and away from the outfielder, but we saw Upton play it well, and same for Calhoun, the Gold Glover in right field. So only the 6th inning, those runs at the top of the inning turning right now are huge.
0-2 pitch, just missed off the plate, 1-2. So the 2-out walk to Lowry got this started. Then it's gone double, walk, single, double. So 3 hits and 2 walks and 3 runs so far. Danny Coulombe waiting out in the A's bullpen.
See Bedrosian step off there. Might have had another thought in his mind. With 2 strikes, 51% of the time against lefties, he'll throw the 4-seamer, 44% of the time a slider. So it's probably a coin flip in his head.
Powell swings and misses. Side retired, but the A's creep back into it just a little bit. They score 3 times. It's 7-3 after 6.
California many dealers. This started with Rivera line drive, and unfortunately Chris Davis could not block it. He ends up going to second base. Here's a huge play, a strike him out of the breaking ball, yet Mike Trout reaches first base, and then what looked like it's going to be an inning double play turns out to be nothing. Another run scores. So 2 runs in the inning that have really helped the Angels at that time take a 3-0 lead. They added 3 more in the 6th inning, and a couple of innings have been huge. 5 runs scored in those innings. The A's could be leading this game by now had it not been for those, but a chance to come back as Danny Coulombe will take them out.
When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. First appearance for Coulombe this year, and he faces Pujols, Calhoun, and Simmons. First pitch, just a little bit high to Albert Pujols, who is 2 for 3. He knocked in a run with a single in the 3rd. He knocked in a run with a double in the 5th. And that is fair. Knocked down. Chapman gets up, throws. What a play.
Thing is, he had all kinds of time to make the play. And
Foss, that's what happens when you're an athlete, baby.
That's right.
You know you got the arm, you got the athleticism, the range, right or left, it doesn't matter. Get dirty over there, Chapstick. Comes up, makes an outstanding strong throw. You got Paul Bunyan over there at first base to reel you in, no problem. Great job again by Matt Chapman. And you know Mrs. Young and my boy Ryan over there are clapping loudly right now for their boy Matt Chapman.
That was not an easy hop, too. A little bit of an in-between hop, no problem. Diving on the back end. Here's Calhoun. Calhoun hits one. Backhand. Lowry, tough hop, got him.
Yeah, that's a defense Bob Melvin talked about out of spring training. In spring training, talking about the very good defensive plays. Jed Lowry, one of the best at throwing across his body with a lot on the throw to be able to get a fast runner, catching the ball, throwing, going towards the left field area, and getting the out. Calhoun from the left side out of the box quickly, but Jed Lowry, he also with a bad hop, made it look easy. Came up on him, umpire get out of the way. And Matt Olson with a stretch on that one. So Jed Lowry, tell you, making the play, the catch first of all with a bad hop, and then making a strong throw.
So 2 ground ball outs, and here's Andrelton Simmons, who's 0 for 3.
So when the A's scored the 3, that's what's good about this inning so far. 3 pitches, 2 outs, 2 outstanding defensive plays, trying to get back in the dugout quickly. And by doing so, go to the bullpen again with Mike Scioscia, and 3 more opportunities to come back in this game. It's now a 4-run game.
Alvarez the lefty, Jim Johnson the righty. Simeon has it, straightens up in time. A 6-pitch inning for Danny Colomb. Got some good defense. And Hayes quickly get back in the dugout. 7th inning stretch coming up.
Designed for the grind that comes through every time. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. By Southwest, yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By Xfinity, X1 will change the way you experience TV. And by the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
7-3, the Angels lead the A's. It's the bottom of the 7th inning here at the Coliseum when it's time for change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. So the new pitcher for the Angels is the lefty Jose Alvarez. Alvarez pitched on Thursday, but threw just 4 pitches. He did not pitch yesterday. He is the lone left-hander in the Angels bullpen.
And Mike Scioscia, possibly. I don't know that. I mean, it's lefty-lefty, and he could be looking at one of two things. Maybe pinch hit Lucroy in this situation. Max was out of the game. And maybe Joyce. But what Bob Melvin's doing is going with Maxwell, probably with Joyce, knowing that this is the only lefty. And gets through this inning. It's only the 7th. And figured those same guys would come up later again against a righty in the back end of the bullpen. Johnson probably for Simeon. And Lowry the switch hitter, Davis the right-hander. But back-to-back lefties for the A's, and Maxwell and Joyce.
1-2 to Maxwell, who has lined out and grounded out. He's hit a couple balls hard. This one tapped toward short. Simmons across the diamond, 1 away.
Smooth, isn't he?
He is smooth.
And, you know, there's a case where once that ball's hit and he's charging, you know, it's going to be an out. And there's your defensive play.
Well, he does a great job of rounding the baseball, Foss. Obviously shaded over towards the first base side of the ship, too. Does a good job of getting around the baseball, creating a good angle for himself, as you see there. And we know about the arm, but no need. He knows the runner, makes a great, strong, accurate throw.
He's got 3 Gold Gloves, a couple with the Atlanta Braves, and then last year with the Angels. Scooped up by Marte. Alvarez to cover, and Joyce is gone on 1 pitch. So 2 away for Marcus Semien.
Now batting the shortstop, number 10, Marcus Semien.
And if this move remains, I like it. Guy gets 2 quick outs on 5 pitches. And he's got a right-hander warming up. You got a lefty on the mound. There are times you've seen guys take him out and go to the right-hander for what? I mean, the guy just got 2 big outs to start the inning. Let him finish it if need be.
Yeah, I agree.
Plus, it shows his ability to at least face and perhaps have success against righties as well as the lefties, which he's probably going to face more of.
And with the game situation the way it is, boss, it's a great time to instill that confidence in a guy that you're going to deploy at the back end and even these high leverage situations.
And I wonder too if the trend is going toward maybe going to your bullpen a little bit sooner in games, which it certainly seems that way a little bit.
Oh, no doubt. We talk about the numbers and what they reflect in terms of a 3rd time through the lineup. Guys just getting that extra look at guys. It really doesn't bode well for the pitcher.
But I think if you're going to go to your bullpen earlier and maybe a little bit more often, then I think it's imperative that you don't always go 1 pitcher for 1 batter.
Correct.
You got to have guys that can go a full inning, even though he may be a lefty specialist. When you start going left, right, bringing in pitchers for 2-3 different hitters, you're going to run through your bullpen quickly, and it's going to be the 7th inning.
And Kai, that's why a guy like Yusmeiro Petit is so important and so special to a staff, not just a bullpen or a rotation, but to a staff overall, because he can go get you outs from the left side, the right side, and multiple innings.
That one's drilled toward the left field corner. Fair ball. Marcus Semien gets his first hit this afternoon, and it's a 2-out double.
And here's your matchups. Do you want Jed Lowry left-hander or right-hander? In the meanwhile, he's going to hit against Alvarez from the right side because Marcus Semien able to take this pitch and hook it down the left field line. Worked the count perfectly. Started 3-0, back to 3-2. And with the 4-run lead, went after him, and Marcus Semien took it. Do you know what that lefty-righty and change of pitchers? It also creates a huge pace of game problem.
Yep. Yes. Big time.
You know, and that's more, even to the point they were trying to implement a new rule saying a reliever has to pitch at least 2 to 3 batters or something to avoid that. But, you know, you take it away from really what the specialization of the bullpen has created.
Lowry goes after the first pitch and hits it high and foul. Lowry 0 for 2. He walked and scored in the 6th.
Now Johnson's heating up again because if Jed Lowry gets on, you got Crush Davis coming up. Crush Davis. But Johnson, the right-hander, probably getting loose for him.
Tap slowly, left side. Simmons, bare hands throw in the dirt. Lowry beats it out. It's going to be an infield hit for Lowry.
You can tell off the bat. I can tell, guys, right from where I'm sitting that Alvarez had no shot at this ball. You know Jed's going to be getting out of the box and up the line in a hurry. Just a great job by Jed to get a hard 90 out, put the pressure on the defense. Obviously, Simmons' defensive prowess is something we're not going to take lightly. Makes the only play he can here with the bare hand, just not able to get enough on it and get a speedy Lowry down the line.
So Alvarez got the first 2 outs, but Semien with a double, Lowry with an infield hit. So the A's got something going here in the 7th. We got a pitching change.
Presented by authority of the Oakland Athletics. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
Runners at the corners. And it's going to be Chris Davis against Jim Johnson. So good matchup here and a good day for Chris Davis. He has doubled twice, scored a run, 2 for 3. Facing Johnson, who pitched on opening day, 1 inning. Through 11 pitches.
And everything down normally.
And there's a strike.
Jed, I'm watching Simmons going back to play the infield hit by Jed Lowry. The play that Marte made, when you have an infielder barehand the ball and throw it on the run, if the first baseman tries to reach out and make the play, ball gets by, it's another run. So Marte, a good job coming off the bag to make sure the ball did not get past him. That's what we're doing. And here's Rivera doing it from the catching position. Marte at first saved the run, and Rivera does the same thing on this one. Again, a good block. The ball coming up in the chest protector. You get rid of the mask, because if you use the mask to bring the ball back, it's a ball. That's not good.
Semien at third, Lowry at first. Outside, 2-1, 94 miles an hour. Jim Johnson. 6'6", 250 pounds. Chris Davis could not hold up.
Rivera wanted to peel the first. That was a full swing, buddy. I mean, this is a good curveball and the same delivery as a fastball, and Chris Davis went after it, and no appeal necessary on that one. That's your 2-1 curveball with a hitter-looking fastball.
Pitch, not close with a high fastball. So full count. Lowry will take off from first.
And you know, you see the curveball on 2-1 with a check swing. You have to have in the back of your mind as a hitter, is he going to do it again? And that's why you want to be ready for the fastball, but the way they're positioning him, waiting longer may result in a base hit to right field.
Lowry runs, and the pitch not close. Chris Davis with a good at bat.
See, if you're going to throw the curveball 3-2, you have to throw it in the middle of the plate. You can't throw it to the middle of the plate away because it's going to continue to break. And the hitter is going to give up on our quick, not swing a pitch that far away.
So the A's will get the time run to the plate, and big Matt Olson. Olson has struck out. He has walked twice. He has scored a run.
I think a lot of today is on the catcher Rivera, and his pitcher is going with him because he has not given in at any time today on 3-2. It's been some sort of a split from Shoemaker, curveball from Johnson. Can they get a big hit like they did last inning? The A's trailing 7-0 last inning, now 7-3.
With lots of noise in the 6th inning, and the bases loaded here in the 7th. After a pretty quiet first 5 innings offensively, they had just 2 hits through the first 5 innings. In for a strike on the outside corner, 78 miles an hour.
Back-to-back curveballs, and that's one backdoor, straight down though, and that's Jim Johnson's main attribute, to be able to throw the curveball like that.
Fastball for a strike, 93. So back-to-back pretty good pitches.
And you can see the frustration on the face of Matt Olson. Felt like he did a good job of separating ball from strike. He didn't get the call here. Tough break now, back against the wall, 1-2. Good chance you get that bender.
1-2 pitch, down and in, 2-2.
See, good hitters can recognize the spin, and that's an important thing, especially with 2 strikes. You see the spin, and you know it's a curveball, you know it's going to go down. If it's a hanger, you react. Is he shaking himself, or is he shaking because Rivera wants him to? I think he's shaking to get the pitch that he wants to throw. And under the old circumstance, you go talk about it, but now that's a
That's true. This would probably be a time when you would go out.
Because, you know, as a catcher, you can put the sign back down, but you got the pitcher in between, not knowing really what he's going to do. He knows what he wants to do.
Good swing by Olson. I think what the whole mound visit thing does is it kind of eliminates just the casual, maybe an infielder going out there, hey, let's go throw strikes, you know. That's not happening anymore.
But I agree there, yes, but in this case where you've got a pitcher shaking a couple of times, there's not that many times as a catcher can emphatically put the sign down in demand. I want this pitch thrown. Discuss it. The pitcher has to have 100% conviction to throw the pitch.
Strike 3 call, fastball, got it. So the A's load them up but cannot score. 8th inning coming up, 7-3 Angels. So 7-3, we have reached the 8th inning. Daniel Coulombe, who had a very nice 3-up, 3-down 7th inning with a little help from his defense, stays out there. At least to face the lefty Valbuena, Marte to follow, and then Rivera. First pitch is in for a strike. Astros still leading the Rangers. It's now 8-2 in the 8th inning. Indians leading the Mariners 6-5 in the 9th.
Indians have a long road trip to start their 2018 season.
That's right.
Seattle, then Anaheim before they head home. Maybe trying to get it warming up a little bit before first.
That is possible.
See, I remember in 1970, opening day was April 7th. The Indians will go back having played 7 before they open this year. That's how times have changed. And Mickey Morbido says they start a day earlier next year, March 28th.
Really?
Yeah.
He would know.
Yes, he would. And that's for the team going to Tokyo on the 14th of March. And then back to the Bay Area for the Bay Bridge Series. So a very short spring, or at least an earlier reporting time. This year it was on Valentine's Day, 14th of February. So maybe you have to back up even farther to get ready to go to Tokyo.
Center field, Powell coming in. He's going to play it on a hop. So Valbuena gets a leadoff single.
Well, guys, we're going to go back and take a look at that at bat against Jim Johnson for Matt Olson. Starts him off with a first pitch curveball. I actually noticed he went to his hat trying to get a grip, and I thought that's what was coming. So he doubles up with the breaker. He's able to get the strike call. Then you see Jim Johnson start to go to work. Elevate the fastball, looking to change some eye level. Goes back with the breaking ball. Olson's not going to bite on it. So what's he do? He comes back with the heater. Johnson again doubling up, and he's able to execute a low paint outside fastball to freeze Olson, who was probably looking something more over the heart of the plate.
All right, we got a pitching change. Pagan is coming in for Coulomb. Stick around.
Matt Shoemaker, of course, good numbers against the A's coming into today's game, and he just continued his dominance. His split finger fastball became the primary pitch for him, a go-to pitch, and he just kept throwing it, throws so many to Matt Olson. Ole struck out once, walked once, but he had Steven Piscotty that he struck out. So the splitter from Shoemaker, a good job, and he's in line for the victory in his first start of the season.
Here's Emilio Pagan, his second appearance this year. He pitched last night, gave up a run in 1 inning, couple of hits through 20 pitches. As he faces Jeffrey Marte with Valbuena at first. Straight up defense for Marte, who's 0 for 2. He walked and scored in the 6th. That was a big at bat because at the time just a simple 2-out walk, but it was followed by single, double, single, and the Angels scored 3 in the 6th.
All with 2 outs. A's did it again, but they were down 7 when they did it. All the Angels did, they made it a bigger score for them. In fact, that made it 7-0, those 3.
Fastball at 92 in there, first strike, 1-1 count. Marte slightly open stance, getting the start at first base today. It's this one foul. 17,012 is the attendance today on a very nice Saturday afternoon. Easter tomorrow with the day game, and then the Texas Rangers will be here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Bartolo Colon will be eating some Easter eggs from yesterday, from tomorrow, before probably Thursday, Monday's game. Nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
Maybe Mackie Thalbaum can have an Easter egg hunt in the clubhouse for the early arrivers. Meanwhile, trying to come back in this game and facing Ohtani tomorrow in the series finale.
Well, the Rangers got some injury news today. Delino DeShields, who is going to be their leadoff man, everyday center fielder. He hurt his left hand last night. They took an MRI and found out he's got a broken hamate bone. So he's going to be out for a while. 6 to 8 weeks they're talking about. Let's see, Delino DeShields.
Wow.
Olson will play.
That is a great play. Thought it's going to be a base hit, first and second. Instead, tremendous play by Matt Olson.
Yeah, full swing, and it might have been a double down the line, guys, but Marte checks up, and Ole does a great job of turning his back immediately, understands, you know what, I got to get to a spot, so he turns his back, he's able to track it. Just a great job of tracking the baseball over his shoulder. I mean, we've seen him make play after play out there in foul territory, and he makes it look really easy. This play is not that easy, folks. Very difficult.
So 1 out, and here's Rene Rivera, who has had a very good ball game, both offensively and defensively. He doubled and scored in the 3rd, struck out in the 4th, singled and scored in the 6th. So Rivera has done well and blocked a whole bunch of balls.
And I have 2 things on the hamate bone. Number one, it's something that seems to always happen right in that area. But I saw baseball bats this spring that had a kind of a rubberized end on the knob that compensated for that, specifically for the hamate bone injury. On the other hand, remember Pablo Sandoval had hamate bone surgery?
Yeah.
Why not do both at the same time? It's a switch hitter. He ended up having another problem with the other hamate bone. You know, I mean, not that you want to have surgery unnecessarily, but in that case, the hamate bone, if you're a type of hitter and you're a switch hitter, it happens on one. It's usually going to happen on the other.
Well, Voss, one of the things that they're doing, you're referencing the rubber pad that they put down on the knob, because a lot of guys like to feel that leverage, create that leverage, get lower down on the knob. Well, they also have axe handle bats. And those axe handle bats have really seemed to take over. I mean, guys are in love with them. It does take a little bit of getting used to hand position, grip, and things like that. But that axe handle really has sort of taken away getting down on the knob, and they've seen hamate bone injuries sort of go down and decrease.
Yeah, the knob of the bat, which you see right there, that's just the normal knob, but those axe handle bats, the knob is kind of at an angle.
Correct. I mean, it is quite literally
it's a different look, but
quite literally an axe handle.
So quite a few of those in spring training.
One of the first bats I used was at 016, which had no knob on it. It was just straight down.
Yeah, you saw that a fair amount.
And you know, it was a, I mean, an axe handle bat, it's what, about a 60-ounce bat because of an axe on the end of it. No, but it's
a different look, though.
It is a different look.
I don't
because
see any there.
No, the knobs, that's just kind of the way they're manufactured. And whether, I know Louisville Slugger with the lace, they did it all. They just, and a lot of times the end of the bat or in the handle part, the knob, the 016, there was none. And you could choke up a little bit. I remember Dick McAuliffe, longtime Tiger, choked up on a 016. There was never a knob on the end of it. All those bats have knobs. You can see a couple of them taped, maybe to take some of that knob out of the bat.
One and one to Rivera. Sweet. He ain't going to foul back. We'll see if Steve Vucinich is watching. He'll have a axe handle bat out to Dallas Braden soon, if he has any.
If he's listening. After all, he was the hero last night, throwing out the ceremonial first pitch. He may be basking in all his
he's working.
Yeah, his people and all the replays, and people wanting his autograph. Maybe he just doesn't have time to do anything.
Think he'll even talk to us anymore?
Probably not. That's why we go straight to Brian Davis. Got a good crew of guys working in the clubhouse.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So Rivera chased what looked like a ball.
Had a slight run to it, but the good thing about it was the pitch was away. Pitched location, middle of the plate, and maybe just extended, overthrew a little bit, but got the location, got the chase from Rivera. And for him, it's been a great day. Like you said, a couple of hits, but bottom line, he's done the job behind the plate, which he will catch a few day game after night games. And if Mike Scioscia could get this kind of production out of him, especially behind the plate, he'd be very happy.
So here is Zach Kozar. Kozar jammed a little bit. Oops, a foul. Let me guess. You got an axe handle bat.
You ask and you shall receive, boys. You know I got your back down here. Now this is the difference here. You see that quite literally is the handle of an axe. And you work your way up and there's the barrel. But what it does, instead of getting down on that knob as you see here and sticking that handle right in the crease of that palm where that hamate bone is, you're able to get right here on top, and it creates that same leverage. You're able to feel comfortable, and you don't have to dig that knob right into your hand.
Interesting. I saw one in spring training. I had never seen one before, and it was like, uh-oh, something new. And,
of course.
And the next day, I was reading articles about it, the axe handle bat. 0-2 to Zach Kozar. tripled and scored in the first, struck out in the third, lined out in the fifth, doubled home 2 runs in the sixth. Cozart has had a very good series. Coming back is Maxwell. No. Run out of Cozart is 5 for 14 in this series. So 0-2 with Trout waiting in the on-deck circle. And that one in, and was it off the bat?
I would. Now Bob Miller's going to take a look, and I don't blame him, because you go back to the playoffs last year in New York and Cleveland. I think you see a hitter jump. See if it hits the axe handle knob of the bat.
Did they? I didn't see any call by the home plate umpire.
Yeah, he pointed to first base.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Bob Miller's taking a look at it to see if you can see. Here's a slow-mo. That's the knob of the bat, folks. Yep. That's the knob. Check it. Check it. Thank you. That's a knob. That's a foul ball, because if you get hit in the head, you're not going to be just kind of walking around.
I don't think the ball is going to go that far if it hits flesh as opposed to wood. Now, it may have pinched his hand a little bit.
That's a bat. I mean, that slow motion, that one before Delaire that you showed right here. See the knob? That's the knob. Now, you're right. It might have skimmed up and hit his hand.
May have hit his hand,
but it's the knob, and that's the bat.
And I tell you what, guys, from down here, the sound wasn't that true off the wood sound, but it wasn't that dead fleshy sound either. A combination of both here, and I think with the trajectory of the baseball is probably what got the umpire to pull the trigger early and call it a foul ball, or excuse me, call it a hit by pitch. Yeah. Yes.
Well, they're taking a look at it, and if they saw the one previously with the slow-mo, and that's what they want to see, they being the umpires, they want to see the slow-mo as quickly as possible, because that may have cost the Yankees last year. And Joe Girardi, a 10-year veteran with a very good winning percentage, and because of that, that's not right. I'm sorry, that's not right. Because we saw, and one is
following the review.
Because I hate to say in New York, you got it wrong, because that hit the knob of the bat. There was a player, the A's,
number 27, Mike Trout.
Trying to think, spring training, got hit in the hand. He was jumping up and down and breaking his hand. You know, and if your hand is on the bat, you're going to feel it, because you're tight, just like whether it's an axe handle or not, you're going to feel it wrapped around. And if it hits any part of your hand, you're going to be screaming and yelling.
So 2 on, 2 out. Here's Trout. Trout's had a big game. He's 3 for 3. A double and an RBI in the first. Scored a run in the third after reaching first base on a wild pitch. Doubled and scored in the fifth. Singled in a run in the sixth. So 3 for 3 with a single, 2 doubles, 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs. Hits this one up the middle. Simeon ranging to his left. A's get the out at second base. Side retired. Couple of runners stranded. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Angels lead by 4. Dealers 7-10-0 for the Angels. 3-7-1 for the A's. Shoemaker pitched into the 6th inning. So did Daniel Migden. Migden ended up giving up 6 runs, 5 earned. His defense really did not help him out a lot. So the Angels once led 7-0. The A's have made some noise here in the later innings, but still have work to do, trailing by 4. Jim Johnson stays out there, and he'll face Piscotty, Chapman, and Powell here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Johnson got a big strikeout of Matt Olson to end the 7th with the bases loaded. That one right on the outside corner. So the A's have stranded 8 in the first 7 innings, including 5 the last 2 innings. Hey Ray, Eddie Montague's in the booth. See Eddie?
Hey Eddie, the ball hit the knob of the bat.
Uh-oh.
Inconclusive, my friend. That's why they had the slow motion. They wanted the slow mo. You got the slow mo. It hit the knob of the bat, Eddie. Come on. You can't throw me out either.
Get it, boss.
I brought Ed Montague in here purposely for that.
And he said inconclusive. How could that be inconclusive? They wanted the slow mo. They got it, and they say it's inconclusive.
You know what Eddie said? You know it's not inconclusive? I'm going to be on 680 here in about 5 minutes.
Well, no, it's a weekend. He says he could be home in no traffic problems on Saturday.
Eddie says inconclusive.
Yeah, right. Fortunately, it didn't hurt the A's. Eddie Montague.
Long time umpire and a good one. 2-2 to Piscotty.
See, when Eddie umpired, they didn't have all those challenges. He could just make the call and,
He never had to worry about the challenge.
No. He also umpired when the game took about 2 hours and 10 minutes average. Didn't have to worry about pace of game.
Scotty loops one down the right field line, and it's going to fall foul. Indians beat the Mariners 6-5. Yonder Alonso home run was a grand slam, and it was in the very first inning. Carrasco got the win, Paxton got the loss, Allen got the save. Nelson Cruz homered for the Mariners.
There's a true DH. Yep, Nelson Cruz.
Hit right to Cozart, who was shifted over to his right a little bit, and he was well positioned.
Tell you what, Foss, you make a great point speaking to Mr. Montague about the games he used to umpire back in the day, 2 hours and 10 minutes. It leads me to wonder why they don't involve the umpires and maybe the union a little more when they start to try to figure out these pace of game issues, because we have real life time machines that experienced how the game was played, how the game was ran back when it didn't take 3 hours and an entire afternoon to complete 9 innings.
That's a good point. You're right. I think there's so many. I just think it's a combination of things. I do, but everybody does have an opinion on whether trying to speed up the pace is a good idea. I think a lot of people think it is. Not everybody does. Average time of game last year for the Athletics was 3 hours and 8 minutes. The average time of a game all around Major League Baseball was 3 hours and 5 minutes. So the A's were a little bit longer than.
Did you see that bottom footnote? It was 5th fastest.
Yes.
No.
5th fastest in the American League.
I want to say the Tigers had the longest games in Major League history.
Not the Yankees or Red Sox. Goes.
Yankees and Red Sox, I think, were second and third. But it is an interesting discussion, however you feel about it. Chapman is retired. I still think Dallas. I don't know how you feel. I think all the stuff that's being done, it may help a very small amount. I think it all goes back to the pitcher and the hitter.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, when you think today, when you think about the game today, mound visits, how they've curtailed those, what impact has that had on today's game?
Yeah,
none.
Yeah. I mean, I think, yeah, and it's a, even if it did, it's a very small amount. Some people think the replay has slowed the game down. Maybe a little, but I just don't know that that's the main issue.
If you look last night, a game that started at 7:35, it's at 2:48 last night. 2:48 because Minaya and Skaggs, I mean, they were lights out. They worked fast. They threw strikes. I still think, and I've said it to Eddie Montague, tell them to stop grading the home plate umpire. Now, there becomes reputation of the pitcher. And the hitter knows the pitcher has a reputation of being around the strike zone, which means he's going to get the majority of the calls. And whenever I had an umpire reach down with Cat Fisher's pitch and said, this is going to be a fast game, what does that tell me? He knows he's going to throw strikes, and I know I can sit off the plate, hold my catcher's mitt, and it's a strike. Boom, hitter knows that. Let's go. Hour and 48 minutes.
Catfish would have liked that pitch. It was a pretty good one. Powell could not pull the trigger. Side retired. From 7-3. There's some Angels fans in the house. It'll be Upton, Pujols, Calhoun. It's Pagan. So with Pujols waiting in the on-deck circle, I want to run this by my good friends Ray Fosse and Dallas Braden. Give us a little time to kick it around. As Pujols stands in the on-deck circle, Ray, in Dallas, he has 150, or he is, I'm sorry, he's got 615 home runs. He's 148 home runs away from the record, 762. Including this year, he's got 4 more years left on his contract. Let's just say, for conversation's sake, he hits an average of 30 home runs a year the next 4 years. Probably asking a lot, right? But let's just say he does that. That's 120. That would put him 29 home runs away from setting the record when his contract expires. When his contract expires, he'll be 41 years old. And these are all what ifs, but I don't think any of this is out of the question. I mean, he could average 30 home runs a year for the next 4 years.
By hitting mistakes.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe averaging would be conservative, because as strong as he is, you make a mistake, he's going to hit a home run. He's going to go to the plate 600 times a year.
So at the end of his contract, 4 years from now, he has a pretty good chance of being pretty darn close to the all-time home run record. Upton's going to find the gap here as it bounces off the wall in left center. So, Dallas, what do you think? His contract is up, and he's 20, 25, 30 home runs away from the all-time home run record. Does he keep playing?
If that's the case, absolutely.
You have to, don't
Albert
you think?
Pujols will end up buying himself a team. And creating a team to give himself at bats if he's that close to making that happen. Before he gets to that point, though, I have to question whether or not the lower half will hold up.
Well, sure. And again, this is all, he's got to stay healthy. And,
right.
And again, averaging 30 home runs a year. And I'm just, that does not get him to the record, but it gets him pretty close. He'd probably have to average with 35, 37 home runs a year in the next 4 years. But that's how much more he has left on his contract. 4 more years.
Well, I know how much each one of us love this game and how much we appreciate the performers of this game, especially the youth in this game. But to see a man like Albert, and with the track record he's had and the production he's put up over his Hall of Fame career, to see him that close to breaking, in our opinion, the most hallowed record in all of sports, you want to see that happen. You want to see him make a run at that. That's history.
All right, how about this one then, you guys? Coming into this year, he's 380 RBIs away from setting the all-time record. Hank Aaron, 2,297. Well, do the math. 380 over 4 years.
Well, you know, the one thing that he did, thanks to Artie Moreno, he gave him the opportunity
to
get that by giving him a 10-year contract. Now, there was just recently, maybe last year, there was some talk that maybe he would bow out because of his daughter, I think, going to the Olympics maybe, and he'd want to. But you know, I'd say if you get close to records, I think of Miguel Cabrera when he was playing with the Tigers. The A's, Sonny Gray faced him in a playoff, maybe 13, whatever. He could not use his lower body. Everything he hit to right field was just a fly ball. What did they do? They tried to pitch him in. He buggered with one down the left field line, 3-run home run, game over.
And that was the game right
That's it. But that's the upper body. So to Dallas's point, I agree, lower body, but he is so strong upper body that you make a mistake, he's going to hit it.
When you talk about those RBIs, guys, only 3 times in his career has he not reached the century mark in RBIs. In 2 of those years, 99 and 95 RBIs.
So you guys can double check my math because it's not great, but so if he averaged 95 RBIs in each of the next 4 years, that would be the record.
Yeah.
He would set the all-time RBI record. Think about that. He's got a chance. He's going to get fairly close if he stays healthy to the all-time home run record and the all-time RBI record.
And he's in better shape now, as he said, simply because I didn't have to worry about coming off of surgery and working out. And so if he's going to condition himself, he takes a lot of pride in the game. He was so upset right there, probably twofold. Number one, he missed a pitch. Number two, he didn't advance up to the third base to at least have the infield come in. But he's a consummate pro. I mean, he's a great leader on a club. He's got Trout, he's got Upton, he's got a lot of veteran players. But he is the man that they look at. And as go the Angels, basically so goes Pujols.
Yeah, and listen, he's obviously a very proud guy. Now, is he going to limp out there for 2 more years to try to hit 25 home runs? Probably not.
No.
But if he is still productive, and this is a ways away, it's 4 years away, but he still looks pretty good to me.
Yeah. Well, and you think about the 11 years in St. Louis. Now, granted, with interleague play, the DH, but by and large, for 11 years, he had to play first base.
Yeah.
At least now, Mike Scioscia can do what he did, playing the first 2 games defensively. Today is a DH. Tomorrow, with Ohtani, he'll probably be at first base.
So it's an interesting discussion, and it'll be something as his career comes to a conclusion whenever that happens.
And it won't
he's gonna be close.
And it won't be watered down if he DHs a lot either, because of the number of years that he played in the field defensively.
Yeah, he was not. Yeah, he didn't spend his whole career as a DH.
No. I mean, all it is really, it's a luxury to get his bat, keep his bat in the lineup, or any great hitter keep the bat in the lineup without having to have it go out on the field.
Simmons hits it right up the middle. That's a base hit. Upton around third, headed home. Throw is cut off, and it's a 2-out hit to knock in a run. 8-3 Angels. So the first hit of the afternoon for Andrelton Simmons is an RBI single.
And 2 outs.
That's right. We've seen Andrelton Simmons get on top of the baseball throughout this entire series. Boss, you made the point about him being a good bad ball hitter, I believe. Yeah. And this is just another example. It's a strike ball up in the zone, though, and he does a good job of getting on top.
Now batting, number 18,
last night,
Luis
if I recall,
Valbuena.
it was Upton who faced Pagan and hit the bullet to left field. That was in the 9th inning.
So here's Valbuena, who is 1 for 4. Nick Parker was up. He is now sitting down. Bard is throwing. Luke Bard. A pretty good look today, Ray, of how good this Angels offense can be.
Absolutely.
It's a good lineup.
There's not an easy out up and down the lineup. And again, the bottom part, Rivera. You look at 3 runs scored in the bottom half with Marte and Rivera.
So quick 0-2 to Valbuena. 12 hits for the Angels today. I got him with how many doubles? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 doubles. Triple. And not homered today. In the dirt. 8 runs, 12 hits, no errors for the Angels. 3-7-1 for the Athletics. Lots of pitches for Emilio Pagan. He's about to throw number 30. Through 20 last night. High in the air, right center. Powell calls off Piscotty, side retired. Insurance run for the Angels as we head to the bottom of the ninth.
Game, and how about Matt Chapman? There's one hit. Maybe get him going. This is a big one, though. Down the right field line, that would play a run and give Matt Chapman a double. So a good idea for Matt Chapman coming through with a couple of hits today. And all it takes, first of all, he's going to get a chance to play every day because of his defense, if nothing else. But he's also, thanks to that guy next to him, as Chris Davis says, the rookie is a good leader. That says a lot about Matt Chapman.
So bottom of the ninth, Max Bud will lead it off, and this is a major league debut for Luke Bard, Charlotte, North Carolina. 27-year-old right-hander. He's 6'3", 200 pounds, and he was a Rule 5 draft pick by the Angels. If you understand the Rule 5 pick, you understand what has to happen if a team picks you in that draft from another organization. In this case, the Angels picked him from the Twins. That's all fine and good, but he has to remain on your big league roster.
5 months. The regular, because the minor league season ends after the end of August, so essentially if he's there for 5 months. Mark Canha had a tremendous year for the A's as a Rule 5. There have been some great Rule 5 players that have done exceptionally well for the teams.
So if you decide not to keep him, then you have to offer him back to the team you got him from, or you can work out a trade if you really want to keep him. Maxwell has a base hit. So that is hit number 8 for the A's.
Well, major league debut. First pitch was out of the strike zone. The 1-1 turns out to be a base hit from the bat of Bruce Maxwell. So gets something started here in the 9th inning. Stayed back enough with the off-speed pitch for Bruce to get his first hit of the day.
So that'll bring up the leadoff man, Matt Joyce. Joyce is 0 for 4. Simeon to follow after Simeon Lowry. So the A's would love to at least get to the heart of their order and see if they can make some noise. Remember Daniel Bard?
Yes, I do.
That's his brother.
He retired.
Yeah, and Daniel Bard for a couple years was very good. And then, boy, just could not keep it together. This is Daniel Bard's younger brother, Luke.
Remember when Daniel Bard was pitching for the Red Sox? In back-to-back games, Kurt Suzuki, first of all, was hit by a pitch on the hand, and he found out about it, unlike what we saw today. It was conclusive instead of inconclusive. And then the A's come home, and Jose Bautista took one of his big swings on the follow-through, hit Suzuki on the same left hand. And that's what I remember about Daniel Bard. Good fastball, hard inside off the hand. Not something you want to write home about, because that hurt.
That one bounced past Matt Williams. So 0-2 to Joyce. Daniel Gossage, Shohei Ohtani tomorrow in the final game of this series. Fastball is up and away. A's will stay home and host the Rangers. The Angels will head home for their home opener Monday night against the Cleveland Indians. Good swing by Matt Joyce. Gossett will get a good night's sleep. He'll be ready to go tomorrow.
Leave some carrots out for the Easter Bunny.
Yeah. This is inside. 2-2 the count.
Kind of like his brother Bart with the fastball, mid-90s, straight, four-seamer, plus slider and changeup. The Angels saw enough that they wanted to claim him and see if they can keep him on the roster.
Swing and a miss. Joyce swung over top.
Last year the A's had the dilemma with Raul Alcantara. Ended up making the club. Failed in Texas. There's a hard slider. That's a tough pitch to hit down and in as it comes in. And if you don't recognize the spin, you're going to swing over the pitch, as Joyce did. But Alcantara, there's always the fear that when you're out of options and you try to protect somebody, send them through waivers, thinking they're going to be claimed. He wasn't claimed. Same thing happened this spring.
Shallow right field. Calhoun trots in. Calhoun has it. Simeon is retired, so he's 1 for 5. 2 outs here in the 9th inning.
Foss, you're talking about Anaheim identifying something here. Luke Bart at Double-A last year in 33 games, 78 strikeouts, 52 innings. 52 innings, 78 strikeouts, only 20 walks. So he's definitely got the swing and miss stuff to play at the bullpen level.
Yeah, you just got to be able to. You can't expect the guy to be come in and be your closer. You just got to. Right. I don't want to say hide him because that's not really it, but you just. It's going to be just kind of an extra arm in the back of your bullpen.
And what he wants more than anything in this major league debut is to not have to have somebody else get down the bullpen. To have this kind of a lead, 5-run lead, he's probably pitching because of that.
Yes. And
last thing he wants to have Mike Scioscia have to call down the bullpen, or Charles Nagy, have somebody get loose. He wants to finish it, grab the baseball, put it in his trophy case, and say, "I'm a big league." I don't care what the lead is for him. This is like it's a scoreless tie.
Sliced foul. 1-1 the count. Lowry is 1 for 3 with a walk and a single and a run scored.
What I think can help a young man like this more than anything is a veteran catcher, somebody behind the plate. You come in, you say, "You tell me what to throw, where to throw, I'll throw it. And I'm not going to shake. I've been down in the bullpen, nervous as heck for 3 games. I finally get in the game, and I'm not going to shake you off. Just tell me what to throw."
Dribbled foul toward the Angels dugout. Now the A's are down to their final strike.
And if Bart throws anything like the other guys that Rivera's caught today, it's breaking ball anyway. Between Shoemaker with the splitter, Jim Johnson with the curveball. I mean, they've all thrown breaking pitches, and a lot of that is because Rivera. And I go back to Benji Molina and Irvin Santana many years ago. Santana became a great pitcher throwing a slider because Benji believed in him to call it. And Irvin said, "He believes in me, I'm going to throw it." And made a lot of money because of that.
Fastball, swing and a miss by Lowry. And that's how this ball game ends. So game 3 of the series goes to the Angels as they win it 8-3 in a big afternoon for Mike Trout. 3 hours and 23 minutes was your time of game, and it was played in front of 17,012 here on a Saturday afternoon at the Coliseum. Final score: the Angels 8, the Athletics 3. It's time now for A's post-game live. Here is Brody Brazil.
Way to go, Chick! Baby. Yo te quiero oír diciéndoselo, papá. Hoy. Que me diga muy creado, porque yo no voy a coger esa nadie ya. Ojalá hasta el mal, dice. Hey, so